Right? So, first and foremost, we want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham, Rakakodash. Double honor to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect. And let me check the audio real quick. But yeah, we're pretty much gonna get right into it. Uh, the hot the hot new topic is this hell situation, right? Dealing with there was a video that the elder apostle Tahar had put up concerning an IUIC member breaking down or going into hell. Here. Going into hell, and he basically butchers it, mangles it, butchers it, and burns it. But nevertheless, we're gonna go into a few precepts here, because that's why the scriptures talk about certain things being spiritually discerning, because it's not everything that is straightforward. Some parts of the scriptures you can, it's pretty straightforward, but other parts you got to be spiritual to understand it. Now, when you read the Bible, you also have to use common sense and logic, right? There's I believe in the book of Matthew it talks about the city of Capernaum being brought down to hell. And then you think about it, wait a minute. Hell is a spiritual place. You're going to go and burn forever. Your spirit is going to be taken there. You're going to burn forever if you don't get right. So how's the city going to go there? Things like this you got to think about when you read these scriptures, because if you make a statement about the scriptures, you have to make sure that statement checks out with all other precepts. There shouldn't be another precept that contradicts what your statement is. Even because there are certain verses that may sound contradictory, but when you actually break it down and you give the understanding, it's clear, and it's actually not a contradiction. An example is in I believe in Deuteronomy, either the 8th or the 9th chapter, and in Ezekiel 18, I believe it's the 18th chapter. In Deuteronomy, it talks about the children paying for the sins of their parents and their fathers, and then in Ezekiel, it talks about the child shall not pay for the sins of their parents. So you may say, wait, but it's a contradiction. It's a clear contradiction. It says one thing here, but it says another thing here. But when you give the understanding, all right, dealing with reincarnation, and the children that pay for their father's sins are really their fathers coming back through reincarnation. So it's really the same spirit paying for their own sins. Right? It's really the same spirit paying for their own sins. And so when you give that understanding, you realize, oh, it's actually not a contradiction. Right? It's pretty clear. So anyway, let's deal with some of these precepts here. We're gonna go through hey, can you hear us? Can you hear us, bro? Shalom. Yeah? Say something so I could see if we can hear you. Say shalom.
Hey, shalom.
Shalom. We all good. We good. All right, let's get into it. So we're gonna go into Revelation 19, because there's certain parts in there that deal with the fire, right? Sometimes it's referred to as a lake of fire.
Brother, the sound is muffled.
Sound is muffled. Yeah, I know, brother. It's because we deal with a bit of technical, stuff here. But so long as you can still hear us, if you still make out the words that we're saying, if you could do that, then like I said, just bear with us a bit. We're gonna figure out, something for it, but just let me know. But in any case, as I was saying, because you have certain parts in the scriptures that will talk about the lake of fire. But then you get a lot of people get tripped up at that part. Oh, see, the lake of fire. So hey, that's talking about hell. But there's a precept that talks about death and hell being cast into the lake of fire. At that point, what's the explanation for that? How are you going to cast? So hell is a spiritual place. You're going to go burn forever when you don't do right. You're going to cast that place into a lake of fire? That doesn't make sense, right? But how would you explain something like that? So let's go into it.
Revelation chapter 19 and verse 20.
And this is why we have to constantly come out and deal with these scriptures and address these different points. Because, all right, say we were to sit back and say, well, you broke it down wrong, but we'll just leave it at that. It's okay. what happens when the sheep are watching, and they may say, okay, well, that is wrong, but what's right? How do we know what's the correct thing? All right, now I know that that's the incorrect, or maybe they may not know, right? So that's why we got to come and point it out. Clear example is the individual that was ex-member of the WFI who basically left them and said, because the dealing with the MOTV, he said he could see it. He said he agrees with the breakdown from GMS concerning the MOTV. So that's a clear example as to why we have to constantly come out and address these different. If it got anything to do with the scriptures, then it's a part of our business. All right.
This is Romans 16 and 17. Now I beseech you, brethren, mark them which cause divisions and offenses contrary to the doctrine which ye have learned, and avoid them. For they that are such serve not our Lord Yahushua Mashiach, but their own belly, and by good words and fair speeches deceive the hearts of the simple.
There you go. Good words and fair speeches. And that's how they get a lot of people. See, and it goes to show you a lot of Israelites are not studied. They don't really look deep. They hear the good words and the fair speeches, but when you really think about what is actually being said, you're like, wait, that doesn't even make sense. You're just saying a lot of words that sound good, but conceptually they don't really make sense at all. They're not cohesive, and they're not a sound. It's not a sound statement. If you start scrutinizing it, you start questioning it, you start stress testing it, you realize there's a whole bunch of holes here. But that's the thing. A lot of people in the congregation don't do that. Yeah. Con. Can I get an amen? Amen. That's it. You know? That was a good precept. That's it. So let's get into that. What you got?
Yeah, but it's also actually it's real quick.
All right.
Proverbs 4 and 2. For I give you good doctrine, forsake ye not my law.
There you go. And that's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to give you good doctrine, because the doctrine is also likened unto food. Right? When the Lord said, feed my sheep, does that mean Yahushua had some secret flock of sheep somewhere that only Peter knew the location to? That's why he kept telling Peter 3 times. And so after he left, Peter really never died. He's hiding in some cottage somewhere as an old man feeding the Lord's sheep every single day. Is that what it means? No, it's not talking about literal food that you feed actual literal sheep. What the Lord is referring to, his sheep are the Israelites, the children of Israel, the lost sheep of the house of Israel, right? And feeding them, Jeremiah, in the book of Jeremiah, talks about the Lord said he would set up pastors that would, according to his own heart, which a pastor is a preacher, a prophet, that would feed you with knowledge, the correct knowledge, the correct doctrine. Okay?
When you go to Psalms 23, I believe the same word for pastor and shepherd, I believe the same exact word.
There you go. That's it. That's what we set up here to do. And the Lord is going to make it manifest. It's only a matter of time. Yahuwah Hashem El Shai is going to make it manifest. So that's okay. All right. Yeah.
Revelation chapter 19, verse 20. And the beast was taken.
Actually, start off maybe like 3 verses.
Revelation chapter 19, verse 17. And I saw an angel standing in the sun, and he cried with a loud voice, saying to all the fowls that fly in the midst of heaven, come and gather yourselves together unto the supper of the great God. Verse 18. That ye may eat the flesh of kings.
So what's going on here? Because this is an actual a prophecy that hasn't been fulfilled yet. This part of Revelation 19 hasn't come to pass yet. And it's going to happen when Yahushua makes his return, because at the time of Yahushua's return, you're going to have these nations at war. World War III is already going to have popped off, and it's going to be going nuclear. And that's why Yahushua is going to return at that key moment. Okay? Because, and how do we know that? Because if Yahushua doesn't return at that point, we all doomed. The second those missiles fly, and they headed here to America, if we hear on emergency broadcast that, you know, say Russia, U.S., the world nations are at war. They've been at war for maybe a couple of weeks, and missiles are flying left and right. And in the midst of that, they give an announcement: hey, an unidentified amount of nuclear missiles have been shot off by Russia, and they'll be hidden within 13 minutes. Well, we know Yahushua's gonna be here within sometime within that time, because if he's not, like I said, we all doomed. We're gonna be fried. We're gonna be one with the ground, deep fried Israelites. All right, and the scriptures say that in the twinkling of an eye. So Yahushua is gonna come just in time, and he's gonna deliver his elect. That's that. So let's go. So right, so what's going on here? He's talking to the fowls, which the Lord is actually gonna give the fowls a feast, and they're gonna feast on the dead bodies. And it's talking about, you know, those vulture-like creatures, and they eat dead, you know, the dead things. So really, they just wait. They wait for the animals to hunt or for the animal to die, and they just pull up and eat. Scavengers. There we go, the water. But they're also necessary because they're also like natural cleanup guys. Just like you have certain creatures in the ocean that are natural shrimp, crabs, you know, they call them bottom feeders, and the pigs are like the bottom feeders of the land. So every creature, every creation has a purpose. If it didn't, it wouldn't be created. When you are creating something, or you're putting together a project, or you're thinking about something, everything within that, every aspect of your project has a meaning to it, right? Take a car, for example. When you put in a car together, you got the body, you got the structure, you got the steering wheel, you got the rims, you got the lights, the headlights, the tail lights, you got the side view mirrors. Every part of the car there's a reason why it's there. If it wasn't important, if it didn't have meaning, if it didn't have a purpose, it wouldn't be a part of the car, right? Cars are not built with flags on top of them. Why are cars not built with flags on top of them? Because why the hell do you need a flag? What's the purpose of having a flag on top of your car, right? But cars are built with windshield. They're built with steering wheels because there's a purpose for it. So it's the same thing with the creation of the Lord. Everything was created with a purpose. And so just because you don't understand the purpose does not mean, oh well, the rims are just as circular as the steering wheel. So I'm gonna just take out my rims and I'm gonna swap it out with my steering wheel because they look the same. Well, that's kind of like what people do. Oh, well, pork is just another animal, just like chicken and lamb and goat. So I'm gonna just cook it and eat it. No, that's not why it was created. It wasn't created for you to go and eat it. Tear it up and make some good old pork rinds. You know, there's a company that actually delivers pork rinds. They got pork chips and all these shits, bacon bits. Oh shit, this place is done, man. Go ahead.
Revelation chapter 19 and verse 18. That ye may eat the flesh of kings, and the flesh of captains, and the flesh of mighty men, and the flesh of horses, and of them that sit on them.
So them scavengers, them birds, they can't wait. They can't wait because it's going to be a glorious day for them to feast.
And the flesh of all men, both free and bond, both small and great.
Why? Because a lot of them are going to be dead. And why they going to be dead? Because if they're not of the elect, they ain't going to be delivered. Now, it doesn't mean that everybody that's not of the elect is going to die. No. But everybody on the soils of America, that we can tell you, if you're not of the elect and you are on the soils of America, you're going to die. Point blank, period. Because this continent of North America is going to be wiped clean with nuclear fire. That's according to biblical prophecy.
Verse 19. And I saw the beast and the kings of the earth and their armies gathered together to make war against him that sat on the horse.
Right, so the beast and the kings of the earth. And we know the beast is NATO and the EU, which are a coalition of nations. Okay? And they also have armies. All right, so they also have armies of their own. But if you notice real quick, we get 2nd Ezra 13th chapter. If I'm not mistaken, I think it's around the 22nd verse. It talks about it refers to the nations being at war, and they're gonna leave off war with each other, and then come and fight against the Lord. And then also Revelation the 12th chapter and the 7th verse. Really, Revelation 12, and we'll just read from 1 down to 7. But if you find the one in 2nd Ezra, you can bring it out. because it talks about the beast and the kings of the earth. So the kings of the earth is really talking about the rulers of these other nations, but that the rulers really represent the nations as a whole. So the kings of the earth are talking about these other nations that are not a part of the beast. But why did John see the nations that are part of the beast and the rest of the nations that are not a part of the beast all together coming against the Lord? Because that's what the same thing that Ezra saw. Okay, because they're going to unite in a common cause, which is now we have a foreign invader and we all have to fight against this foreign invader, these aliens. We have to fight for humanity. See, that's one thing we all have in common. We all humans. So let's fight against you. Let's fight for humanity. But that, I mean, at that point, all you're doing is really just making the show better, right? So if you guys got it. Got it.
Second Ezra 13. Start from 26.
Correct.
The same is he. Let me read. This is the meaning of the vision. Whereas thou sawest a man coming up from the midst of the sea, the same is he whom God the highest hath kept a great season.
That's talking about Yahushua. Great season because he has to. The scriptures say that he has a long time holding his peace, right? Yahushua has been with the Lord after he came and did his job, and now he's waiting for his reward, and he's been waiting at the right hand side of the Father. To us, it's 2,000 years, but to the Lord, it's about 2 days. But that's still a long time to wait, depending on what it is you're waiting for, right? Imagine if you had one of your loved ones. Put it like this, right? 2 days can feel like a very long time, or it can feel like a very short time, or it can feel like a average time span. It depends on what you're waiting for, right? If you're waiting 2 days for food, that's a long time. If your family member is in danger, they're being tortured somewhere for 2 days, that's a long time. But if you order a package off of Amazon, they say it'll come in 2 days. All right, cool, that's fine. You know? Or if you hear something like, yo, the Lord is gonna come in 2 days, that sounds quick, right? Shit, just 2 days? Short time, right? So Yahushai a long time because of what he's waiting for, right?
Quick point to land back. Yeah, like the brother said, time is based off perspective. Like for a child, a short ride can seem like a long ass time, and for us, it seemed like it's drawn out. We want it to happen quickly, but for the elites, it's happening too fast. They're trying to slow the time down. So yeah, time is relative, like the brother was saying. Second Ezra 13 and 26. The same.
I'll give you an example, right? You say kid, you got like a teenager, and this new game comes out, brand new game comes out. First, no, put it like this: Christmas comes around, the mom buys a newest console that came out with the newest game they've been dreaming about. They sit down to play it. 2 hours is going to feel like 2 minutes. Now you put that same child in a history class with an old Edomite professor that speaks slow, and you can't really understand his accent. I'm sorry, an Elamite professor that you can't understand his accent. He's out here moving slow. He's reading from a text. 2 hours is going to feel like hell. He's going to feel like he's been there for 2 years. It's all based on how you look at it. Like they say, time flies when you're having fun. That's because your brain is so focused on doing so many other things that is actually interested in doing that it's not focused on how much time is passing. That's why whenever you're doing something fun or a lot is going on, you got to constantly check your time. Right? You gotta remind yourself, yo, oh shit, what's the time? Oh damn, hey, like holy days. Brothers got together and like they say, the saying, I lost track of time. Why did you lose track of time? Because your mind was distracted. Because you were having fun or whatever it was. Whatever it was had your mind very engaged. But when your mind is not engaged, you ain't gonna lose track of time. Trust and believe, you're gonna be checking it every 2 seconds. So it's all about perspective. That's it.
Right, yeah. Focus, man. And that's why a lot of guys change the doctrine too. because they can't focus on that one thing, which is Yahweh Shem Yahshua the truth.
Lose patience.
They lose patience, and then everything else becomes more interesting than what really should be.
Is it?
Going back into, I don't know.
All right, yes, sir. All right.
2 Ezra 13 and 26. The same is he whom God the highest hath kept a great season,
Which is Yahweh Shai.
which by his own self shall deliver his creature, and he shall order them that are left behind.
So I can read that again.
Which by his own self shall deliver his creature,
Which starts with the elect. Go on.
and he shall order them that are left behind.
Go on.
And whereas thou sawest that out of his mouth there came as a blast of wind and fire and storm, and that he held neither sword nor any instrument of war.
Now, what Ezra saw was a laser coming from the Lord's chariot, coming down and destroying all of those that were that it was meant to target. Okay, go on.
But that the rushing in of him destroyed the whole multitude that came to subdue him. This is the interpretation.
Wait, is that the part where it says that they leave off one realm against another? It says they leave off. They're gonna, every man is gonna leave off the battle they have with one another, and they're gonna come and fight against the Lord. What verse?
Yeah, it says it like some verse down.
Okay, all right. I thought we passed it.
No, yeah, it's coming up.
All right.
It says, this is the interpretation.
Mhm.
Behold, the days come when the Most High will begin to deliver them that are upon the earth.
Right, and that's pretty much in this time, because really the deliverance began when the Lord gave us this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Because that's when it is decided. All right, this person's gonna get it, this person ain't gonna get it, and then from there the next thing goes on, right? Because we come out here and we teach, but then at some point the Lord is gonna close the doors of mercy once He has us out here long enough, and the purpose of activating the members of the elect is done. Then we're gonna kick into the next phase. But this is all a part of the phase of the deliverance. Okay.
And
Because the Lord couldn't come and deliver us while we were in a bugged out state. He had to first clean us up and renew us.
and one shall undertake to fight against another, one city against another, one place against another, one people against another, and one realm against another.
So it's gonna be wars, right? Wars everywhere, and one realm against another. So you're gonna have the heavenly realm, the angelic realm, the angelic forces, Yahweh Shai, Archangel Michael, the rest of the archangels, and the angels against Esau, and the as we read in Revelation 19, the beast and the kings of the earth. And they're gonna come with all their military might. China with their supersonic missiles, hypersonic missiles. Esau, now don't get it twisted. Esau is gonna bust out some technology that you ain't. What's that? You gotta take that? Okay. He's gonna bust out some technology that you ain't never seen before. I mean, we go into the scriptures, but don't underestimate Esau. Don't underestimate Babylon. They all got some what they call trump card, the ace up their sleeve. But guess what? The Lord really, because that's how when you want a movie to look good, right? You got to prop the bad guy up. You got to make the bad guy come with something that looks like, oh my gosh, it is impossible. There's no way we're gonna win against this. That's what the Lord is gonna do. So Esau's gonna come out with all kinds of different things. Damn, what the hell is that? How the hell did they even have that? How is that possible? And with the ease that is gonna take the Lord to completely obliterate this man, that is gonna magnify even more. Okay. So as it says, one realm against another. So guess what? We're actually gonna get to witness, Lord willing, the war between the angelic forces and this world. That's going to be an interesting time, man.
As it is written, who can war with the beast? Because it's gonna, like the brother was saying, this devil has so much technology that when Yahweh Shai comes back to take him down, it's going to come, like we just read, to the astonishment of the
I'm
people.
doing good right now.
Because nobody's going to be thinking that America, Babylon the Great, NATO can be taken down. So when Yahweh Shai comes, that's what's going to make it even more miraculous and glorious when it happens.
Yeah, yeah. Right now, look, right now, NATO. You got NATO, you got Russia, China. These are world superpowers, right? Now imagine all them coming together and then fighting against some other force. They gonna be like, man, because you got some. You gonna Revelation. I think it's the 6th chapter tells you about that. Those that didn't repent of their works. I think it might have been the 6th chapter or maybe the 8th chapter, one of those. But it talks about those that still didn't repent of their works because they still got. You gonna have some that are still gonna have that pride in them. That's really who we looking for. Niggas like that, go overseas. Don't, because you get destroyed by missiles. No. Go overseas. Let us come find you. We're gonna come with fiery chains, and we're gonna pick you niggas out like Scorpion. Get over here, and we're gonna round them up, and then we're gonna see if you're gonna repent of your works or not. You gonna get down or lay down. That's Matthew 19:27. The Lord said, "Those mine enemies that would not that I should reign over them, bring them hither and slay them before me." Oh my gosh, Jesus said that. People don't, but it's written, right? So we're gonna find them.
Quick point to add to what you just said. Also, you need examples of things. Because like what did the Lord do with Pharaoh? He puffed him up, he hardened his heart to make an example out of him to show his power. So that's the same thing. We're going to need prideful individuals, those that don't want to repent of their works, those that are hard-headed, to make an example of them when we're setting up the new kingdom.
Yeah, you're gonna have, and you're gonna have. Oh, that's it. Yeah, go ahead. No, I was gonna say you're gonna have some of them people that are heavier to their religions, and because of that, they're gonna say no. I'd rather die for my God. That shit. All right. It's kind of like we went back into the time of the wilderness. The Lord delivered us from Egypt. When we was inheriting the new land, he gave us a specific commandment that we should slay everybody and these other nations that are round about us. And we're not supposed to make covenants with them. We got to destroy their gods, their altars, all that shit, man. The Lord gave us commandments to destroy them so that we don't end up being like them. So the same commandment that we're going to get when we officially inherit this earth, we're going to have a commandment. Like back when you had the Spanish Inquisition, when they came into power, they set up a decree that anyone who doesn't oppose these laws and adhere to these laws is slain. And Esau's going to try to push the same thing by beheading those who don't bow down to the image of the beast. So it's the same concept. So when we come into power, it's the same thing. We're going to righteousness on this earth. And anyone who does not adhere to the righteousness, you're going to be slain, man. That's just what it is. That's it. All right. So yeah, I just wanted to add that's how we're going to get decreed. So it's going to be a decree that we're going to have to enforce. That's it. That's right. The governing body.
Shalom, just to land back on that, and they've been trying to put these forces against us from the beginning of time. The Lord knows that the chosen, the elect, shalom, the elect gonna fight, and we gonna cry out, speak up against this beast, and shalom. All of us is here together, what we do right now is we crying out aloud, the beast knows that, the elect is out there. So what they try to do is try to stun us, just like when Yahweh Shah was being brought to this earth, they were trying to kill all the firstborn sons. So they bring out tactics, but they can't stop us. I just wanted to quick verse.
Yep.
Psalms 83, starting from 1, I'm gonna just go to 4. Keep not thou silence, O God. Hold not thy peace, and be not silent, O Yahweh.
Right. It's like
Yeah. No, I just wanted to bring out the fact that the Lord sees how his vengeance is already set. We just taking steps to go through the procedures. All right, so they bring on hell. But what you wanted to say, bro?
No, I was gonna say when you hold your peace, that means you're silent, almost like a bystander.
Right. So the Lord is not sitting back and letting it go unjust. He definitely bringing it out. Right now, he's speaking about. Right now, the Lord is speaking through us by giving their judgment. You know, the burden of Babylon is on. On these devils right now. So when we come out week in and week out, we preach about the downfall of this place, and they know that, and that's why they got poison in our water, poison in our food. They thinking they gonna stop the elect from coming out through the birth of our next generation, but we those men, Lord willing, we be those men.
It's like real quick.
Yeah, yeah.
Hey, Con, I got a quick precept about to bring that out. All right, going into how we going to inherit the earth. All right, it's the book of Psalms, chapter 2, and verse 1. It says, "Why do the heathen rage and the people imagine a vain thing?" So it's a imagination that you have the Edomites who are claiming that they're going to be moving to the next kingdom to come. King David is saying that that's a vain imagination. That these other nations, the Lord chose the nation of Israel to inherit the whole entire earth. So it's clearly a vain imagination to think that they're going to be the ones to have us underneath their feet forever. That's not what the promise say. All right, that's not what the promise is that Isaac gave his two sons, Jacob and Esau. Okay, so continuing, it says the kings of the earth set themselves, like we were saying earlier about the kings of the earth, these other nations, right? Set themselves and the rulers take counsel together against the Lord Yahweh and against his anointed saying, "Let us break their bands asunder and cast away their cords from trouble." Right? So that's the same thing they're doing now. But this time, Esau's trying to do it in the sense of their medical sense. Okay, they're trying to use their medical experiment, right, to do what we would think as a whole. Because in their mind, if they can stop the population of the Israelites and the horizon of the elect, then they can continue to do what it was. But then, as we went going down a couple verses down, verse 8, it says, "Ask of me, and I shall give thee the heathen for thine inheritance." And that's what they don't want, because right now, the men of the Lord coming in down here in the highways and byways, what we're doing is making our plea to the Heavenly Father. The Lord that you created, that was so perfect, to give to these people, and look what they did to it. Lord, now is our time. Give us a chance so we can do it the right way. Right? So part of doing it the right way is going to have these heathens, what? And as a part of our inheritance. Okay? As slaves. All right? So continue, it says, and it says, "At the uttermost parts of the earth for thy possession. Thou shalt break them with a rod of iron, thou shalt dash them just like a potter's vessel." All right, so that's going into what? The men of the Lord, all right, being used as weapons to enforce the Heavenly Father's righteous laws here on earth when the kingdom of Israel, man. That's what that's going to. So I just want to add that real quick.
I'm gonna just bring it to the point that I want to make. This is Psalms 83 going again, verse 4, to the point. They have said, "Come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance." So that's just laying back, with the brother saying, they trying to stop the elect from being produced, which is the point I was trying to bring out. But it's going to be stunning because the Lord sees it. He has a plan to bring them up as high as they can be through their technology, just to show them how, like how you said, how frivolous they technology is.
Right. Vain imaginations.
Yeah.
The Lord he's going, but that's what the Lord does, right? Because it ain't no fun if you just go around, you overpowered, and you just go around just stomping on everybody. You got to prop up, even though they ain't shit, you got to still prop them up.
Make it feel like they are. Make it feel like they are.
Exactly. So they can feel like they are. And then that makes you look even better. Why do you think the Lord goes through, if you really look at the scriptures and the different accounts and stories, the reason they're so interesting is because the Lord goes through sometimes the least expected routes, to get something marvelous done. And I believe explicitly he told Gideon, "I only want 300, or cut your numbers down, because that way when this is done, the glory comes to me." Because then Israel's they're gonna have it was us with our numbers, and the Lord don't play that. When it comes to glory, you ain't gonna rob the Most High of His glory.
Psalms 2:1. "Why do the heathen rage and the people imagine a vain thing? The kings of the earth set themselves and the rulers take counsel together against the Lord and against his anointed, saying, Let us break their bands asunder and cast away their cords. He that sitteth in the heavens shall laugh. The the Lord shall have them in derision. You know, and going back, you know, just adding on to what the brothers are saying, the Lord is actually orchestrating these devils to do what they're doing, and he's just saying back, really laughing. That's a true God. You know, that's a true power where he's making you do something, having it in your mind, thinking that you actually going to accomplish what you're doing, and he's just saying back and just laughing at it because ultimately he knows what the end is going to be. I believe it's also in the book of Psalms where he says that the Lord shall, he uses that the Lord shall laugh at them. I think it's Psalms 37 chapter.
Oh yeah.
Brother can find that for me. That the Lord's gonna basically laugh at the wicked, you know. And the thing is, that's why really through Yahweh Shai said that in his word you shall have tribulation, but be of good cheer, have overcome the world. So when you in the truth, although we see what's going on in the world and it's vexing and it you know it bothers us, you know, we're vexed with the filthy conversation, we still at the end of the day have peace because we know that Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai is on our side. And we're the ones that got the victory. See, we're as Paul said, we're more than conquerors already. You know, and we're more than conquerors. You got in the Marvel King the Conqueror, right? We're more than conquerors, man. We're actually the gods of the earth that the Lord made us from the beginning, from the foundation. He already had it planned that we were going to be the rulers, the kings, the ones that get to be in his image to show all his other creation that he loves us. I believe it's in the book of Ezekiel. He said that what? That all the heathens going to know that thou has loved us. And how is he going to do that? In order to first do that, you got to bring us to a low state, and then to a position to where it doesn't even seem possible that these people, these niggas, these spics can even be on a high level. You know, we was talking coming up here about how, you know, heathens on the eastern side of the world, they be all maimed and limping and missing a tooth, but they got mad women, you know, and they got beautiful women. Speaking about these Elamites and Ishmaelites, and the Lord don't even love them. So how much more for the ones that he actually loves? How much more for the ones that he calls his fervent lover? So I'm gonna read that last part again. It says, "He that sitteth in the heavens shall laugh; the Lord shall have them in derision." They're in the brother can look up that word derision for me. They're going to be in a position that is going to be, you know, let's just get the word derision.
So too, right?
Yeah.
That's okay.
Oh, it's got
Psalms 2. What verse is it?
7. No, 4.
All right. So the word derision. All right. So it says here to mock, deride, ridicule, to mock, deride, have in derision.
Hey, and that's the role reversal right there, man. Because you have the sons of God being mocked and ridiculed, starting with the prophets. But this Israel as a whole, we're mocked and ridiculed. We're laughed at. We're looked at as being nobody. But you got the Creator that's actually mocking these other nations, man. He's mocking the heathens because he knows that these are my sons. I already know Jeremiah 29:11. I know the thoughts that I think toward you, saith the Lord, thoughts of peace and not evil, to give to you an expected end. And nobody can stop that. Nobody can tell the Heavenly Father, nah, you're not going to give them an expected end. That's not what's going to happen. So he laughing. They really think, but the thing is, these elites, they actually really think that they can stop that. And that's why the Lord is laughing.
So
This is Psalms 37:12. The wicked plotteth against the just, and gnasheth upon him with his teeth.
What are some of the ways that they plot against us? I mean, the main way is with that right? You got to put Lord's people in their image. You got to put the Lord's creation in their image, starting with the Israelites. But you got the whole food system, the so-called education system, right? You're being subject to payments. All these things are the way that they gnash at us, man. All these different life, really, which is why this isn't life at all. That's why Yahweh Shai said that He coming to give us life more abundant. He starts creating a life where it's just that we are being gnashed at constantly. in every situation, there's always something that is bothersome. You know, and that's why the scripture tells you that this is not your rest. Arise ye and depart spiritually. Because if you're spiritually not tied to this place, then you don't give a damn what really goes down. You don't care. Everything that actually is happening is for our benefit. Because if you're not spiritually here, then you can only be in what? Your conversation, your mind can only be in the heavens. So when we see the shit that is happening in the world, that people of this world, this realm, they're looking at it as, oh, this is not good news. That's great news for us. It's great news for us. But you got to be of a spiritual mindset, and you got to be really, as how should I say, a true worshiper of the Most High to even have that unction, that feeling, which is a blessing from the Lord, man. Because think about it, you got people. If we didn't have this truth, we'll be in the mindset just like everybody else, just confused and wanting things to get better. Because as Paul said, if in this life we only have hope, then we're men most miserable. So the only thing that they can do is really just hope that things get better, but your hope is in vain because it's not going to get better. So you're a loser. You're in derision. We can mock at you. You mocking at us, thinking that we're standing on the corners looking stupid, you know, being out here in cold and doing nonsense. But really, we understand what the bigger picture is, man. We see afar off.
The Lord shall laugh at him, for he seeth that his day is coming.
We see that his day is coming, man. Okay? And that really, the Lord already knows this day is coming. So it's really, you know, hey, we putting on the mind of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. We see his day coming too. What's going on? So that's why we tell, you know, boldly come out here, yo, bring out your MOTV. You got these so-called Christians and these people that claim to be Bible believers. We gotta pray that the Antichrist stops. We gotta pray that they don't get to fulfill their mission. They gotta do that. Like, what do you? That's what Yahweh Shai told Peter. And get thee behind me, saying, without savors things of that be of man and not the Most High. The Lord has to have these things go down, and we gotta go through these things so that we can get to the kingdom. What's that? 2 Ezra 7 chapter, brother? Can pull that up. Brother.
All right, yes, sir. All right, no, hey, but just like you were saying, man, that's it. It is necessary for this devil to do what he does. As a matter of fact, people might people who lack understanding, they might think that we secret Illuminati supporters or secret elite supporters, because every time they come over saying. Every time they come out with something, we on it, and we it's almost like we egging them on. You know, we hear news about them pushing this MOTV. We're like, yeah, that's it. Do it. You know, go ahead. You know, when they came out with this Vanessa, bring the lockdowns, bring the Vanessa, and people like, what's up with these guys, man? Bring the destruction, bring World War III. What's up with y'all? But we understand, like you said, we're looking past this, right? Because what we want is at the end of all of this. There's only one way to get to what we want, and that's through this. So the sooner it comes, the better. That's why we're hastening for it to happen.
Looking for and hastening the coming of the day of the Lord. We're even looking for war. You know, we're looking for war. We're looking for mass casualties. That sounds crazy, but that's just what it is. Because it's not of our will. It's the Lord. Hey, the scripture tells you that the slain of the Lord shall be many. So if we're of the mind of Yahweh Shai said it. I think that I come to send peace on the earth. That's how you know these people don't really. These people in this world, they don't really serve Yahweh Shai, the Son of God. They can't. Because they're pushing a whole philosophy that is nothing Yahweh Shai was talking about. I came to set derision, a sword, fire. What will life had already be kindled? That's a mindset. If Yahweh Shai was on the scene right now and he was saying this, people would do what they did back then. They would do exactly what they did back then. But see, that's why this time he said, I'm not coming to meet you as a man. You ain't getting me this. Now I'm coming with the lie. I said I wanted fire, I'm bringing the fire. I'm bringing the fire. You can't stop it. And righteousness do it judge and make war.
That's a
Yeah, I was going to say, the water, that's a beautiful point right there. That your house what would I if the Lord be kindled? And when you go into it, if he not written in old English, when you go into it, what would I is basically implying that saying that I wish it was already on fire. Like I can't wait. You know, and sometimes you get that spirit. Sometimes you be driving and then the spirit just hit you randomly and you just be like, man, I can't wait to get the fuck out of here, man. Like you just see some wild shit and it just pisses you off. And then you just wonder why. Like, damn, bro. But you gotta calm down and remember that it's step by step to the prophecies. But remember, the reason why Howard Shah said that is because he already seen these last days. He had already seen the generation that's going to be here. He was speaking to them back then. So he was talking to people. He's like, I know before I come back, you're going to be one of them niggas doing whole ass shit. I know you're going to be doing transformer shit. I know you're going to be engaging in all this vocal shit. I know you're going to be doing this. I know you're going to be doing that. So a lot of these people that he was dealing with back there, he was sighing, he was pissed off, he was always angry, is because he saw their life that they're going to be living in these last days. He saw those spirits. He saw how he's going to be destroying them. And they were standing right in front of his face, talking shit back there. You know? So he was that spirit, that angry, lion spirit of what would I have already killed? Like, I can't wait. I wish we were going to the fire. So come down and fuck these people up, man. You know, we're the same spirit. So when he comes back, we know it's going to be rapid fire. That's why the scriptures tell you that what? The slain of the Lord shall be many. It's because he's going to be coming down to a lot of killers for the most part, with these Christians don't even understand. You know?
Hey, even when you go inside the scripture, what will life already be kindled, there's an exclamation point at the end of that. So that's what when you have an exclamation point that you are really emphasizing. Right. You was emphasizing like this is what the year of my redeem has come. The day of vengeance is in my heart, and the year of my redeem has come. So if that's in his heart, the day that he gets to actually exact revenge, how do you think? And he's been waiting, you know. He's been waiting for that time, and the thing is, he don't even know when it's going to happen. Right. He don't even know the actual day is going to happen. So when it comes, just like I told you in the Wisdom of Solomon, the Almighty Word leaped off the throne. That's Egypt. It's going to be way worse because Egypt ain't persecute him. Right. Egypt ain't pierce him. You know, the Israelites back then didn't mock him. So, but he still did the Father's will, and he only got the Egyptians. Now he coming for the whole world, and the bases in the wicked are in rulership at this point.
Oh, I was gonna say that that passionate, almost like you can't contain it, like you just can't wait. It reminded me of the video that the other brother Abu Akbar did at the last week's camp when you had these two demons roll up talking shit, and you could see it like a physical example of sort of like that writing where it's like you have to contain yourself, but you just wish that the time was here now where the Lord could just bring sudden judgment upon these people right then and there. It's like I'm burning, but I can't. You know what I mean? I'm burning, but I can't. And pretty much like Yahushua, because you got to think about it, right? Yahushua can still see all the things that are going on here, you know, and he can see the things that we're going through. He can see the bullshit that's going on. He can see the condition. Number one, everything that he has done, that he's seeing. Not only is he seeing those same demons that said, "Put him on the cross, let his blood be upon us and our children's children." He's seeing those same demons then come against us and stress us out, his little ones. Matter of fact, there's a very grave threat inside the scriptures when it talks about when you offend the Lord's little ones. He said it had been better that a millstone was cast about your neck and you were cast into the deepest part of the ocean. That's like, it had been better if you committed suicide a painful way. You had been drowned to death. It had been better for that than for you to offend one of my little ones. So when the Lord sees us getting, vexed and pissed, he gets very vexed and pissed, because he's like that protective brother.
I was about to say that. It's like a righteous, honorable big brother don't like when nobody messes with their little brother, man. They don't like that. And you got everybody. And you got everybody messing with your little brother. You on the playground, you go pick up, your brother from school, and you on the playground, you walk in the play, everybody just picking on him. Everybody just picking on him. Like, oh hell no. That's how Yahushua is coming, man.
Fiery red.
Mm-hmm. You got it. 2 Thessalonians 1:6. Seeing it is a righteous thing with the Most High
to recompense tribulation to them that trouble you.
It said recompense, pay back tribulation, man. Okay, hey, and it's going to get paid back double. Okay, double. I was reading the story of Esther. In this Bible app I have, it actually mixes the book of Esther and the rest of Esther together. So it puts the letters in the, I can't say that. But it puts it in that perspective. So you reading it, I'm like, oh, and then and Esther, being a woman, this is how you know how far gone our people are. Being a woman, she was praying to the Lord about destroying Haman, man. Saying like, like, he's trying to afflict us. We're already being afflicted now. We're in slavery. And on top of that, he's trying to now just even afflict us even more. Like, we don't got no type of aid. Like, praying to the Heavenly Father, like, you're the only way that we can escape this. You're the only way. And I was just meditating on how, like, the Lord, he intervened. And the way he intervened, it was supernatural, but it was through people. Because a lot of people think that the Lord only intervenes. They got to be some fire strike, but not. Lord intervenes through actually working on the minds of people. Because what happened with her going before our source, she was supposed to be put to death if what she did. But the Lord gave her actually a mind, and that's how the Lord, that's spiritual power right there. The Lord gave her a mind to do something that because she was afraid. She was like, I'm gonna be, if I die, I die, but this ain't. What I'm doing right here is it's going to put me to death. But I'm going to pray to the Lord. We're going to fast. And this, Lord willing, this actually comes to our benefit. And that's what, that's what we're doing right now. We're praying to the Lord that the things that are going on in the earth, even the persecution that this devil's coming with, we don't know how the Lord is going to do it, but he is going to fight. There's going to be a way that we're going to be delivered out of situations that really you shouldn't be delivered out of. And that's why we got so much confidence and boldness, man. The fact that we're able to come out here week in and week out and talk about the destruction of America in America, that's the Lord delivering us every time we come out here. That's why the scripture says that they hazard their life for the gospel, man. If this wasn't about, if Yahweh Shai wasn't dealing with this, imagine if you had a bunch of Muslims coming out here talking about, oh, America's doing that. They'll be done underneath the prison. They'll be done every week. They'll be done, man.
You
going to say something?
That's why one in the interrogation when the feds came, they was trying to tie us to Islam. That's one thing. That's what Vocab tried to do a lot.
Right.
Try tie us to Islam. And he kept asking me like, so y'all ain't got no Muslim ties or Muslim belief? I'm like, nah, it's a total separate God. Matter of fact, we get on our people for following that, telling them that it's wrong. But they try to tie us into Islam because it'll be more of a wrap up because they already a so-called war against terrorists. It'll be easier for them to indict us and swoop us up if we fell under a branch of Islam.
Hey, and that also because really they can Esau. Man, remember he's a devil, right? He comes after the workings of Satan. So anything outside of the truth is really under Satan. So he can Esau and his officers, they could come down against I will call them little devils, right? They can come down against Islamic and what was that, the neo-Nazis and all that other shit, persecuting. Imagine you had neo-Nazis out here talking about and their skinheads, about America. We want to, they'll be done. But this right here, what was that scripture? It says that if you come up against it, it shall beat you into powder, and if it falls onto you, or it shall break you. I think Yahweh Shai said it. Basically the truth. If you come up against it, it'll break you, and if it falls on you, it'll smash you to powder. But this truth is something that they can't come up against. And really when they do come up against it, as Yahweh Shai told us, it's going to be for a testimony against them. See, this is going to get to a point where we got to go to before the magistrates and the law in the courts, just like Paul, just like the time of Acts. But the Lord's going to give us a mouth to say something, to speak, where they can't even gainsay. They can't even come up against it, man. Now, some of us, they are going to put some of us to death, right? There are going to be some martyrs, but I believe through the Spirit, a lot of brothers are. I believe a lot of brothers aren't going to be put to death, man. And these a lot of believers aren't going to be put to death. I'll say a lot of prophets aren't going to be put to death. I believe that's just me. That's just my belief. Got it.
Zechariah 12:3. And in that day will I make Jerusalem a burdensome stone for all people. All that burden themselves with it shall be cut in pieces, though all the people of the earth be gathered together against it.
Yeah, but that's a good one. Yeah,
Got one. This Acts 5:38. Now I say unto you, refrain from these men and let them alone. For if this counsel or this work be of men, it will come to naught. But if it be of God, Yahweh Shem Yahushua, you cannot throw it, least happily you be found even to fight against Yahweh Shem Yahushua.
That's right. You know, and that's what Esau is really doing, man. See, they're trying to fight against Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, and that's a losing battle. That's why when you read when David, what we just read and said in Psalm the second chapter, it says thine enemies. You know, in Psalms 8 third chapter, thine enemies make atonement. See, the enemies that we have really are enemies against the Heavenly Father because we're just servants. Yahushua is the master of the house. They can't get to the master, so they're attacking the servants, but you're still troubling the house of the master. And when he returns, he's gonna rectify that. He's gonna have an issue with that. And especially when the servants that are doing the Lord's will, we're coming out here and doing what our master tells us to do, and here you got people trying to come up against that, trying to stop that service, man.
Luke 10:16. He that heareth you heareth me, and he that despiseth you despiseth me, and he that despised me despised him that sent me.
And that's another way that we can rest and have peace. And the fact that know that, hey, we got the ultimate backup. You know, Yahushua told us, like, look, they don't like you, that they don't like me. They put that on me. That's why he said, cast all your cares upon him. You know, don't worry about it. I got you. I'm gonna read and say, still got that First Thessalonians? Yeah. Well, you said that. What? That it's a righteous thing to recompense tribulation, man. And the Lord is righteous. He said, well, he will not do iniquity. So the fact that we're being troubled, we're being troubled. If we're crying to the Lord and telling him we're being in trouble. And I was reading in Esther, and a lot of times it's funny because during the prayer, it's not like they say, oh, remember, Lord. It's not like he actually needs to remember, but it's like you call it like, but I actually, when I was reading that, I started praying. I'm like, yeah, remember what they're doing in America, man. Like, remember us, because like we got to put that into the Lord's remembrance. It's not really put into remembrance, but we're just really nagging the Lord. You got to really just what's that? Luke 18. They that cry unto him day and night.
No rest.
Yep, give him no rest. So
just
complain continually. So when we're complaining to the Lord and we're doing His will, that savor is going up to the Lord. I believe that's in what Ecclesiastes. It pierces the clouds. It pierces the clouds, man. And that is why these prophecies are coming to pass, because you got more and more of the sons of God calling upon our Father in the name of it, in His name, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, and doing His will. So all of that is like a bunch of mail. There's a bunch of Lord just getting flooded with mail of the righteous just complaining.
Emails.
Just getting hit with a bunch. I can show you that in Bruce Almighty, where he had all the mail. He had to go through all the mails. That's what it is likening to our prayers, man. But we're just constantly just bothering the Lord,
Sending up memos.
yeah, like, yo, remember us, or we're still getting afflicted down here, and then it's getting worse, right? Because Esau, and the Lord is causing that, right? He's causing Esau to do these things and causing us to pray more, so that He can cause more judgment. It's like a cycle. It's a cycle. You got it.
Revelation 5:8. And when he had taken the book, the 4 beasts and 24 elders fell down before the Lamb, having every one of them harps and golden vials full of odors, which are the prayers of saints.
So saints are praying, man. That's why Paul said, pray without ceasing. Yahushua, watch as well as pray always. Pray in your mind, you're driving, you're waking up, just at work, Explain it.
Isaiah says that because he is headed until the make Jerusalem a praise and the fame, and all the earth. The Lord wants us to do that. But constantly active. I mean, you gotta think about it, right? On the one hand, on a lower level, it's kind of like if you're say you're dealing with somebody when it comes to the scriptures, there's somebody new, and you teach them one, two things. Really, you ain't if you gotta keep going to this individual and say, hey, staying up into this or you don't want to want to that. Really, the way you want it is for them, because how do they show you that they really want it or that they're really interested? If they keep, like I got it to you, every 2 seconds, send you messages saying, what about this? What does this mean? Hello, bro.
It's me again. But that's how you gotta be. But y'all, hello, Yahweh Shah. How about it's me again?
Even was flipping on Peter and them about the same shit he was telling them. Like, how long should I be with you?
That's what the Lord wants. The brother got the precept looking for in Matthew 21.
Oh yeah.
This is Matthew 21 and 44. And whosoever shall fall on the stone shall be broken. But on whomsoever it shall fall, it will grind him to powder.
And Yahweh Shai is the chief cornerstone. Right? Hey, we are lively stones. And that's what this truth, man. So anybody that tries to fall upon it, comes upon it, you're gonna be broken. And anytime that we come upon somebody on something, it's gonna be ground to powder. That's why this truth is undefeatable, man. And that's why you got guys like Vocab Malone saying, "Oh, this is a real threat. This is spreading. This is the fastest growing spreading Israelism.
Israelism.
It's the fastest growing. It's dangerous. It is dangerous to you. The scripture tells you that what the words of the Lord are like fire, man, and these people should be tried. So it is dangerous. It ain't dangerous to us. Hey, but it's a two-edged sword. So you should be afraid.
Yeah, it says in the book of Judas, the 5th chapter, that they knew that when we served our power, that meant their end. And it meant they couldn't come against us. So yeah, it is dangerous. A man that's focused on Yahweh Hashem Yahushua is dangerous to the system. So in a sense, yeah, we are dangerous. Not to say we're going to do something physically, but in a spiritual sense, yeah, it's dangerous because it means the end of your kingdom. It means our power is going to fight for us, man.
Yeah. Like viruses and cancers in the system. And that's why they're scared of it. Because especially now that they're trying to set up this NWO and they're trying to pretty much make it virus free or truth free.
No
so
resistance. No resistance.
Exactly. So they don't, because how does a virus work? Or it jumps on one person and it spreads and spreads and spreads. And that's pretty much, really, we're not spreading to everybody. We only spread to the elect. But if you check it, there are side effects that we're having on the society. Because even though the rest of these people are not of the elect necessarily, they're still waking up to some effect. Saying, yo, hold up. What's going on here? You got a lot of people talking about we grooves, or you got people talking, you could see some random individual. You might see a so-called white person that knows he's a Edomite. Hey, you acknowledge that? Yeah. So and that's the side effect we're having. Though they're not of the elect, there's still that spirit of truth coming out. For example, when we uncover the secret to this devil, that's it. Once that secret is out, you cannot undo that. And that's damage that's done to them. So they're like, no, hell no. Take care of them before we even,
And the thing is, the Lord's still not done with the ministry, so they ultimately can't even really stop what we're doing.
Right.
They'll try to do little things like take channels down, but we just respawn. So it's like the game not over. We just respawn, come back again and again and again until the Lord says it's done. And that's why even brothers coming out on the highways and byways, it's irksome to Esau, but they can't really do nothing about it. They can't stop. Just like how we got to bounce. Like the Lord told us that you can't take up arms. Like you can't actually physically. They got to bounce too.
Right.
You can't actually go touch them yet. You can bother. You can be a nuisance. You can try to hinder the work. You can try to fuck with their internet connection. You can try to take the channel down, but you can't actually stop them coming out on the highways and byways yet until I say it's done.
You told Satan about Job.
Oh yeah.
You can't kill him. You can do this, that, and that. Yeah, kill him.
Mm-hmm.
But eventually we get immune to the shit, right?
Right.
Like you said, if you take down one channel, we'll put on another one. You mess up the connection, we'll still be right here.
Yep.
And now he's starting. So now Esau's like he's itching. That's why he's gonna come down with great wrath.
Right, bro.
Similar situation going back in the time of Nehemiah. This is the book of Ezra. It says Ezra 4 verse 3 in the Bible. But Zerubbabel and Jeshua and the rest of the chief of the fathers of Israel said unto them, you have nothing to do with us to build a house unto our God, but we ourselves will build a house unto the Lord Yahweh of Israel, as King Cyrus, the king of Persia, have commanded us. Because they wanted to rebuild a house, the other nations. And verse 4, then the people of the land weakened the hands of the people of Judah and troubled them in their building, and hired counselors against them to frustrate their purpose. So peep that out. It says, so once Israel denied that the other nations could come build with them, this is what they did. It said, then the people of the land weakened the hands of the people of Judah and troubled them in their building. So they was throwing like little monkey wrenches in there to try to frustrate them and prevent them from doing it, and hire counselors against them to frustrate their purpose.
Yeah. Maybe you say something?
Nah, so that proves that who the people are now, because they still do that now when Jake do whatever, like they have some kind of business venture, whatever, they throw some little roadblocks in it, man, because they don't want no kind of prosperity for Jake, man, because that's ultimately the Lord that don't want no prosperity for Jake here. And that's why that the Lord, if I may, what my brother's getting at, the Lord hasn't had these devils pop out on us yet, because really, when you think about it, they say like, oh, you were Muslims, because Muslims are the ones that already, like, they already in war with actually physically, like they already quote unquote attacked America. Israel's blameless. We're blameless under Yahushua, because Yahushua is blameless. So they can't come up to us and just say y'all can't be doing it, because according to y'all law, we still technically can. Y'all gonna have to actually change y'all law to get us off the streets. And once they do that, that's when you're gonna really know that they're at their end. Because once they be like, yeah, y'all can't come out, and I say you can't come out, but like when they make it so like how when the pandemic came, like we was like, you know, the social distancing and all that, they could do something that again. So brothers can't come out here, and that's when the Lord is gonna be taking off the word. You know what I mean? Not Esau, it's gonna be the Lord taking the word out. And that means the judgment is coming.
And that's how the Lord said he should have them in derision.
Right.
Back to that, because Esau he really think that us coming to stop us, once he finally gets be able to stop us from coming out here, that he's actually benefiting.
Clear, yeah.
But you're not actually benefiting. You're actually it's the elect are sealed now.
It's worse.
So that's why he's remember in Revelation 7th chapter it said, hold back the four winds until we have sealed the elect of our God in their foreheads, man. So once that happens, then there's another. Now you go to now is another level, and that level that we're going to get to at that point is a level that you're going to wish that you just let others just stayed out here, because you're only getting closer and closer to your end, and we're only getting closer and closer to our beginning. You can't disannul that. You can't. There's nowhere that you could actually reverse that cycle, because the Lord said He already had established from the beginning, and as I said that no man shall stay His hand. So everything that you're doing is actually only benefiting us, and everything that you're going to do is only actually benefiting us. It's a win. It's a win-win for the elect.
Free lunch.
Go ahead.
This is John 7:28. Then cried Yahushua in the temple as he taught, saying, ye both.
But I just thought about that. So that goes to show you. Now, it doesn't mean that Yahushua broke down in tears. It doesn't mean that he broke down in tears, but he cried, meaning he was passionate, all right, about what he was teaching. Because sometimes you hear that it says he cried or cry aloud. It doesn't mean actually shed tears, but it means he raised up his voice in passion.
Yeah, it actually says that, like the word cry, like meaning like to screech loud. So when Yahushua, and that's how they show you that in these movies, like these fucking Edomites come, beloved, blessed are the meek. Like, nah, man, Yahushua was getting what Jake, right? Even Jake in the churches don't even teach like that. they get into the Bible whenever they going in with the hooping and hollering.
The wrong spirit.
Yeah, the wrong spirit.
Maybe all in the wrong spirit.
Even
Yeah,
now,
right
they
energy.
slang,
They filled, but not according to knowledge.
the slang of Israel, they say stop crying. Like when you complain,
Yeah,
you passionately complaining about something, you like, man, stop crying, man.
right, right.
You know?
So it shows you how, like us when we teach. You know, we don't like they do a fast.
Blessed, brother.
Oh, yeah,
You know,
yeah.
everybody monotone shit, man. Yeah.
Oh man, so Yahushua was passionate, you know, and sometimes depending on what you're talking about, sometimes you get like that. Sometimes spirit jump on you, get real passionate, then you calm down. So as it says, he cried in the temple. So whatever he was saying to them, you know, he best believe.
You gonna say?
Oh, well, that's it.
Saying, ye both know me, and ye know whence I am.
So think about it. You crying. You know me. You know who I am. Like that's why he said, like, what kind of authority this man coming with? Like, oh, he ain't a Pharisee. He not one of the scribes. Like, who is this guy? That's how he was. You got to elder Apostle Gabar always put it. You got to envision the scripture. You got to bring it to life. That's why people, when they see you, I was trying to like, no, that's why they was like, someone wanted to like grab him, but no, jump in the head. But it's gonna say.
The animation. Yeah, you got me.
And I am not come of myself, but he that sent me is true, whom ye know not. But I know him, for I am from him, and he has sent me. Then they sought to take him, but no man laid hands on him.
So think about it. Once again, going back. If you were just like, yeah, I know me, I know where I am. He sent me. They ain't nobody gonna grab him. But I'm gonna teach you, brother. Read it like how Yahushua was saying.
Get to that.
Start from the top.
Yeah.
Then cried Yahushua in the temple as he taught, saying, ye both know me, but ye know whence I am. And I am not come of myself, but he that sent me is true, whom ye know not. But I know him. I am from him, and he have sent me. Then they saw.
So that's how Yahushua was speaking, man. Hey, yeah, we got it.
He was
Right. And they say Yahushua had a voice of many waters.
Yeah, he spoke with a knowledge.
Yeah. So he said, yeah. He said, yeah, I know him, but I'm messing with the word. Read it again.
Then cried Yahushua in the temple as he taught, saying, ye both know me.
So you know me.
Ye know.
Hey, Jake, you know me. You know me. Go ahead.
And ye know whence I am. And I'm not come of myself, but he that have sent me is true, whom ye know not.
So he's saying that you don't know the Father, man. You don't know. You don't know. And that's how we, through the Spirit, that's why we teach with great boldness, because the Lord gave us a spirit and an understanding. So when anybody else comes up against us, it gets cut down. You don't know what you're talking about. Grind them to powder, man. You don't know what you're talking about, because the Lord, as Paul said, that with great boldness I spake, man. Then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness. And we stand in great boldness, not of us. It's because the Heavenly Father, Hashem Yahushua, gave us this understanding, man. And when you know the truth, when you know something is true, you don't gotta be timid about it. What you gonna be timid about it for? So, like, you even think about Jake and Cardinal in sports, like Kobe Bryant or Jordan. They know they were the best during their time. They were, I would say, cocky, right? Or you could call it confident. They were confident in their ability, man. And we, through the Spirit and power of Yahushua, are confident in our ability to understand and break down the scriptures, man. Because the Lord gave us that. He served his secrets unto the service of prophets. There ain't no time where it's like, because you got these people in the Christian, oh yeah, it could be this, it might be. We don't know what it is now. We know, man. We know what we know.
It's like when you witness something and there's nobody else around, and you're telling the story, but people are trying to water it down or they don't believe it. And if you tell somebody, no, this is what I saw, and they tell you, what they could, are you sure it was that baby? No. I'm telling you, it was this, bro. The dude looked just like this, bro. Stop playing. Like Jake started getting into that because and pretty much that's what Yahweh Shai is feeling here because he's like, look, nigga, I came from the Father. I'm not telling you that I'm not being some. No, I came from the Father. Like he set me here. How you think I'm doing these miracles? Right. You know what I'm saying? Like he's like, stop playing around because number one, he's in the temple, and that you have these scribes and these Pharisees in here feigning themselves to be as though they knew the Father, to be as though they knew what was actually going on. And he's like, look, I came from the heavens. I know what's going on, and I know you're going on.
Finish it out. What was the word we said that at that point?
You try to lay hands on him?
Yeah.
Verse 30. Then they sought to take him, but no man laid hands on him, because his hour was not yet come.
And that's going back to the point where we was talking about before with these devils. Hey, they can't touch us because that time it ain't come yet. You know, they can't take us off the street. They can't mandate that we can't be out here because that time has not come yet. But hey, we want that time to come. But until that time comes, we won't be out here. Right? And then when that time does come, like I said, that's just the next phase of prophecy. Because then you got Isaiah 59 chapter. So they're doing something thinking, all right, well, finally, Satan telling them, you can go get them then. So they think, yeah, let's go. Then fucking, when the enemy should come like a flood, the spirit, and we're telling you that this is going to happen, but as it says in Obadiah, the pride of your heart has deceived you, right? You still think that you're going to find a certain type of way to actually become victorious when you come up against us, man. And it's not going to happen. Even when they put Yahweh Shah to death, they thought they won. Right? No, you just solidified your L. That's it. When you bring out the MOTP, when you're about to fill your belly, then you always got to go to the thing. You got to go to the second part, man. Thou did not consider the latter end of it. Better is the end of the thing than the beginning. You only thinking about how it started, but how is it going to finish? And it finishes when you lose it.
Oh, the scriptures talk about that, the death adder that stoppeth the ear.
Oh, yeah.
So like you were saying, we proclaiming it. Now they know we're the prophets, but so think about it. Well, you know we're the prophets. You know that the word of the Lord is not void. So why don't you believe that your end is going to be what we're saying it is? The only thing, it's not because we're lying, it's because of that pride. But they're like, well, this is what you guys are saying, but we're going to challenge it. And the Lord got them like that because why do you think the Lord ain't done anything super, super spooky yet? Because he's making these devils. When somebody goes long enough without competition, they start to feel like there ain't no competition. Nobody could ever take them down. They the top dog. They just moving out about doing whatever they want. And the Lord has them like that. So now when the time comes, when the Lord starts showing these things and really starts showing his power, that's when, because you can't compare Esau's power to the Lord if the Lord hasn't shown his power yet. So when the Lord finally shows his power, then the world is going to see the giant power gap between man and God. And that's why it says in Isaiah 14, they're going to narrowly look upon him and say, is this the man? Because people are going to say, wait, hold on. You really thought that you were going to defeat the Most High? You were going to defeat Yahweh Shai and the angels? The scripture says there's thousands upon. You can't even track down. You can't even keep up with a chariot. You try to shoot a laser, a super fast laser, and it looks like it's moving in slow motion. The chariot moved before the laser was even shot. That's a chariot. That's a vehicle. You can't even understand the vehicle of the angels who tremble in the presence of the Lord. But your mindset is the Lord's coming back with thousands of these angels, but we're gonna take them anyway.
I was going to say the scriptures talk about prudent man looking well unto his going. They were prudent, they would consider all aspects of things that are going to go down.
I'm going to say too, and you got to remember, the America Esau is champion by default. Because remember, as a champions have to fight for the title. You got the title by default because America's never been touched. So you haven't been proven to be champion. And now you about to lose your title you got by default. You know what I mean?
What is that? In Sirach, it says that a sinner would not observe time. You're not observing the time. You still thinking that you got time. You still thinking that your house is going to last forever, man. But the prophets are on the scene. And as it says in Isaiah, the prophets are set for me and the children that has given me are set as a sign. We're the first sign of a downfall of a kingdom. That's when the prophets come out. Well, there goes that kingdom. And every prophet that prophesied against the kingdom, what happened to that kingdom?
This is Hosea 6:5 in the NLT. I sent my prophets to cut you to pieces, to slaughter you with my words, with judgments as inescapable as light. Yeah, hey, the prophets cut you in pieces. We always talking about getting cut. So really, these words they cut. You know, it's a two-edged sword. The word of Yahweh Shem Yahshua.
Yeah, I think also Hosea said I spoke to them by my prophets and the similitudes. So when we're saying, people don't want to believe it because they don't hear it from the Heavenly Father's voice himself or Yahweh Shah. But it is the Heavenly Father. And that's how the Lord actually puts you going back in derision. Because he's saying, I sent to you my prophets. Rising up early, sending them B time.
My sheep hear my voice.
My
My sheep hear my voice.
But yeah, exactly. So the sheep are going to hear it, but there ain't a lot of sheep. There's a lot of goats out here. and the goats, they're wild, man. They're a lot of goats are very untamable.
He said the judgments as inescapable as light. When the light comes up, when the sun comes up, the sun covers everything. Nothing escapes that light. You know, and then it goes throughout the sky. Eventually, everything gets hit with the sun. So that's what the Lord compared his judgments to. And his mouthpiece, the prophets, are the ones speaking the judgment. So that's how you're being slaughtered with these words. That's why he's subject to what we're saying, yet he's coming against us, referring to the elites, subject to what the word that's coming out, coming against us, and then rushing the time because he feels like he has no time left, but you get a trick bag anyways. You snare it up.
And that's why they want the prophets to prophesy smooth things. Because if they have the prophets to prophesy smooth things, then they're going to say, okay, well, this must be the Lord saying smooth things going to happen. But the fact that we're not saying smooth things, that's why they hate us. Because it's like, well, this is what you're saying is happening, and this is what you're getting from the Lord, and this don't sound too good for us. So we're going to come at, and it starts with our people, man. You know, it starts with Israelites that come up against us the most. And it's always been like that. We actually are speaking for the welfare of Israel, man. So that's what Jeremiah said, man. I spoke to their good, and look how they treated me. But then when that flip gets switched, now we're going to speak about your destruction.
Right. And now we learn it.
Yep. Then my fish is turning to honey.
What you just said remind me of that one prophet that came against King Ahab. He didn't like it. He said he does not prophesy well of it.
My God. Yep. See? He's like, yo, I told you he's not going to say nothing. Yeah. Well, you try to give him something nice. You try to like, yo, man, you going to win. Nah, tell me the truth. You going to lose. You going to die. And then you going to get mad, throw him in prison. You told me what you're saying. Hey, man, the life of the trouble. Yeah, but that's why the scripture say we got to labor to enter into our rest, man. Labor to enter into our rest. And ultimately, that's why we prophesy. We don't prophesy to seek the pleasures of men. Because you can't please men. We can't. We're not here. We literally, the words that we're saying is not going to be pleasing until you, unless you are part of the elect. And even the elect sometimes got to get rebuked. Right? But until at least with an elect, as the scripture says, rebuke a wise man, he shall love thee, or you should make him more of an understanding. But the majority of these people, when a prophet come around with, we had brought out last week, where I think it was Samuel, where you say that do it thou come peaceably. Because if a prophet comes 9 out of 10 times, and you're not going to hear something lovely, especially in a wicked kingdom. You know, when you're talking to the church, even when you talk to the church, because I was reading the Yahweh Shah when he was rebuking the 7 churches, he came with a lot of rebuke. But that rebuke is ultimately for your benefit, man. But you got the ones who are not a part of the church, part of the body, that rebuke it. It's going to be really, going back to Psalm the 2nd chapter, with the sword, rebuke them, not rebuke them, that sword displeasure and thy wrath, or chastise them with thy sword displeasure and thy wrath. You know, you can get chastised when the Lord through his mercy, you get chastised by the Lord through his wrath. And Sirach, it says that with him is mercy and wrath. So which one are you going to have, man? Yahweh Shai coming as he said, he shall baptize you with the Holy Spirit and with fire. The duality of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. But you got that? Yep. Oh yeah. Vex them, yeah. Read that.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 2, verse 5. Start at 4, it says, He that sitteth in the heavens shall laugh. The Lord shall have them in derision. Then shall he speak unto them in his wrath, and vex them in his sore displeasure.
And vex them in their sore displeasure, man. See, the Lord is already speaking through the wrath, through his prophets. But the time has come, like how it said in 2 Thessalonians, then shall the wicked be revealed, who the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and then shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. So he gave you the warning, but then he's gonna come with the actual when it stops. When we stop talking, the Lord starts acting. Well, you're acting evident. Because right now, people still are trying to wiggle their way out of the things that's going on in the world, trying to say it ain't the Lord. But the time is going to come where you ain't going to be able to deny that this is of the Lord's doing, man. That's the time that we can't wait for that time.
That's right. I believe that happened in Egypt with Moses and Aaron. They kept going to Pharaoh, keep talking to them over and over. But I forgot which plague. I think it was before the darkness. That's when they stopped talking to him. That's when the Lord eventually got the death.
Yep. Yeah, but when that death angel came, that's when Pharaoh was like, what? Leave and bless me also. Yeah.
All the ample opportunities, though. That's what the Lord wants to the world. All of ample opportunities, you heard the prophets. That's a perfect example is Moses and the Pharaoh. You know, perfect example. He allowed him to come here and sup with you and he didn't tell you. The Lord had Moses tell Pharaoh every day, yo, let my people go. Not even on some of the women duty, just let my people go. Give it just off the GP. All right, you know what, go off the GP general principle, you're gonna let my people go. Look what happened to you. Long duration is just messing you up. And what's he doing to Esau? Long duration is messing you up until your final end. Just spiritually Sodom and Egypt, this place right here. I mean,
Hey, when it even started, when Moses went to Pharaoh the first time, Pharaoh was like, Who is this Yahweh that I should listen to?
right.
So the Lord like, you don't know who I am? Allow me to introduce myself.
Show you some of that trap on my name.
And when the Lord introduces himself to a kingdom, that kingdom don't exist no more.
They didn't even hear of it. They found out what they didn't hear of.
There you go.
What happened?
Hey, man, that's exactly what happened to Pharaoh too.
Oh shit.
That is never the spirit.
The modern day Pharaoh, this time it's gonna be with fire.
Where about to say, like a fire.
Water. This time it's
The
gonna
lake of fire.
lake of fire.
Yeah. That's what people don't really think about. Like, if I may, brothers, you reading?
No, make it point.
No, go now. Y'all go ahead.
Wisdom of Solomon 2:6. Come on, therefore, let us enjoy the good things that are present, and let us speedily use the creatures like as in you.
Hey, and that's what Esau is doing right now, man. Hey, the earth was given into the hand of the wicked. So he got the opportunity right now to use the creatures. And he's not even using them, he's misusing them.
Right.
You know? He's destroying the earth. There it is. You got the whole you got the earth and the fullness of the says with the heavens, right? Esau's blessing, and you just completely destroyed it. Completely destroyed this inheritance that was ultimately belongs to Jacob. So keep going.
Let us fill ourselves with costly wine and ointments, and let no flower of the spring pass by us. Let us crown ourselves with rosebuds before they be withered. Let none of us go without his part of our voluptuousness. Let us leave tokens of our joyfulness in every place.
Yeah,
But
their
this
coins, their statues, they done carve their faces inside of on side of mountains, man. Petra. Yep. Hey, Esau done there's not a lot of places you can go that Esau ain't got his foot in. Especially where civilization is at. But he done took even remote islands. Talking about, oh, this is Epstein Island. Yo. You trying to put a flag, so-called, put a flag on the moon. We know you ain't really do that shit. But you put that in people's minds. You made it a reality to the majority of the world where you say, yeah, this belongs to America. Like, what? You a damn demon. Like, how you
Fucking liar.
Americans, man.
Wow, yo, a proud and blind tongue.
Trying to go to a different planet. Somebody, yeah, we gonna colonize this too.
Put a Walmart on Mars.
Right, yeah.
Down there in Antarctica.
Yeah. You on places that ain't no civilization. Yeah, we on this shit too. You're like, what? Yo, you a wild man, yo. This guy, you gotta be stopped.
We said not keep her at home. He's not a keeper. Yeah.
You're not even keeping the planets.
There, keep her planet.
Then he turned around and say he forgot they lost the technology to get back to the moon.
What? That's why they never been there again.
Yo, that's that skirt being lifted up, bro. That's that skirt being lifted up, yo.
You just placed the file on it. You know, it was in the file somewhere. Somebody threw it out. You lost it. Oh well.
We're gonna go back though. We're gonna go back.
Oh shit, yo, Esau's
We're boldly telling the truth, and Esau's a bold-faced liar.
They even talking about those things that they shot up in those objects. They're like, we don't know what those are yet.
Yeah, they didn't find nothing on it.
What? Come on, bro.
So why shoot it down if you don't like look,
It's like, yo, we can't understand like what it is.
shot it?
You can't find it yet. Like, how you shoot something down in your own territory, but you can't go find it where it's at?
Right.
And that's what's wrong with Jake. They don't question this devil. That's why Yahweh Shah said, what? Be ye like children. One thing about a child has a lot of faith and trust, but one thing about a child, they're very inquisitive. And if you tell them, especially when they like 4 or 5 years old, you tell them some shit that don't add up, they'll question you. They're like, wait a minute, Daddy, I thought you said that Esau's the devil, but you talking to him right there. It could be Ashayar. You gotta be like, no, son, like you gotta break it down to him. And that's where Esau's not as clever as people think he is. They are wiser than the children of light, but in the scriptures with their technology and their deception. But a lot of shit Esau be running, if you just question it and look into it, you be like, this devil is a fucking fraud, man.
Hey, that scripture you quoted says, children of this world in their generation. And what is their generation really about? It's really about lying and deception. So Esau is a wise deceiver. So he is what? You get ahead in society by being deceptive. And ain't nobody better of being deceptive than Esau. So that's how they're wiser than the children of light. Because Jake will deal with you for the most part straight up. You know? And I think the elder had made a mention of that before. Like even this wicked Jakes, they'll come at you, they'll run up on you and broad like, nah, we gonna go. We got them niggas right there. We going, this is me, nigga. East Side Blood. So he gonna claim who they are. Like, I'm an honest murderer, nigga.
They rap about it in their song.
Yeah, we're fucking Rico. Here Esau, he'll kill a whole nation. Nah, we don't know what the fuck happened, yo. We went over there to try to save him. We gave him that back. But then people would, oh, man, he is a good guy, yo. He's trying to help us. You got Klaus Schwab coming out here talking about a whole bunch of madness of death. And you're a master of deception, man. You devils are good devils. Devilish devils.
Wisdom of Solomon 2:10. Let us oppress. Let me read 9 again. Let none of us go without his part of our voluptuousness. Let us leave tokens of our joyfulness in every place, for this is our portion, and our lot is this.
Right, so this is our portion. That's that Psalms 17th chapter. This world, we're the portion of the wicked. This is their portion, man. And the crazy thing is, we were just talking about it. You got a lot of these billionaires that are offering themselves in their portion. How you killing yourself in your own kingdom? You on the top of your kingdom, so it's not like no regular just 9 to 5 people like that's killing themselves. You got penthouse billionaires, You got yachts, and you killing yourself in the bathroom of your office, man.
Damn.
That's what you going. That's how you going out.
So,
But that's how the scripture says. What that cup is passing on to you.
right.
And if you got the billionaires, you got the elites of this world. Well, not the elites, but the rich of this world, the rich men of this world, feeling the misery. How much more are these regular Edomites, man?
Mm-hmm.
That's why they be killing it. Edomites be just killing off everybody, killing their family, the dog, the maid, and then they kill themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all not looking too good, man.
A lot of these Jakes are coming into like Edomite neighborhoods. They getting foreclosed on houses, and Jakes coming and taking this shit over. They get hurt. They're losing. These Edomites are losing.
Because no cat, like some Jakes are coming up in America still. Like as far as like the day to day, like Jake is going high.
It's that transition period. As Esau come down, we come up. Even though with the elect won't come up spiritually, and if the Lord give you a throne, then fine. But when you really check it out, even Jake, the 2/3 of Jake is getting because they little just due from this system. Because the elites, see, back then it was about more segregation, but now that they pushing a new world, like you'll look at a Johnson & Johnson commercial and just see Edomite babies, like back in the 80s, in the 70s. Now you look at it, they show the little Jake child, they show the little Moabite, the Ammonite, they might show a so-called Hispanic, because what it's about everybody. Now Esau still hates you. I'm not saying that, but what Esau trying to push is what that whole everybody thing. Let everybody get like a piece of the pie. Let everybody eat, and that's what a lot of everyday Edomites complaining about, because they don't have societies where it's just straight up Edomites no more. A lot of spots I go fishing at deep in the mountains, it be Issachar up there, and Esau used to like coming in. I walked in the spot once, the Edomite double look back at me. You know how they doing something and they look up and they hear the door open and they think in their mind it's another Edomite coming in. But you see a Jake with Timbs coming in and shit, and it's like remote areas of Babylon and shit, like in the mountains and shit. And then like they do that double look at you and look like, and they don't say nothing, but it's like, what the fuck is you like doing up here? Is you lost or like? I'm like, nah, I know the area motherfucking better than you do, probably. You know what I mean? I be up here fishing in the lakes and all that shit. I know the roads. I ain't lost, but that's kind of how they look. And especially with the borders being open, like down there with Issachar, you got like more and more Jakes coming in. So they don't have a lot of pure, straight up Edomite communities no more. Mm-hmm. You know, like where the brother lived at, he told me they had once he had moved in, the brother Ashiel, he said once he had moved in, they had looked like there goes the neighborhood, like the neighbors next to him and shit, you know. So Esau's not able to enjoy their setup. They trying to call themselves getting away from Jake, but everywhere you go, you got either Judah or Issachar or somebody lingering up there amongst you.
I want to say something. Just making sure. Yeah. Hey, on top of that, you got there women that's trying to dibble and dabble with Jake too. Oh, northern and southern. Whoa. And then, because women, they go where the power is. Right. And obviously, we don't got the power in the sense of like the monetary, but Jake is already powerful, and our being in itself is just better. Yeah, our being itself is just better. So you got to think about, you had Edomites fucking with slaves during slavery time, where you got your back whipped, you looking. No, they show you that in 12 Years a Slave. Oh, not 12 Years a Slave. What was that? Was that TV show?
Roots?
Nah, with Underground. Yeah, where you have like the wife or the daughter of the slave owner will go and fuck with the slave in the in the back. Yeah. Now you got Jake that's actually successful. They got businesses. They got their own thing going on.
All that crypto shit.
Yeah, they got money. They got certain actual materialistical success. These women, they gonna definitely want Jake at that time.
I was gonna say Ime Udoka, the coach of the Boston Celtics.
Oh yeah,
he's fucking up the billionaires. What?
Yeah, I mean that's wicked. But it just goes to show you that Remember, the Lord said that the earth was created for our sake, man. Okay, and everything in it. We just got put to a very low state. But now we're getting built back up again because the punishment of our iniquity is accomplished. So a part of our punishment is the fact that we was being hissed at and mocked, and nobody, the nation not desired. But as we're starting with the elect, but the whole, like we said before, just the whole vibration of us being Israelites is going throughout the earth. It's clicking. Everything is coming together now.
Passport, bro.
Yeah, the passport. Yep. Now you got these are the sons of God. They know they're the sons of God, and now people JB talking about what's up, King God, King, doing that. That's a vibe, man.
Yeah.
That is a vibe. Jay wasn't saying that shit back 70 years ago. They was talking about equality and civil rights.
Yeah.
Talking about little black boys and little white girls holding hands. Now we're talking about we gods and kings, right? That's problematic for you, because if the real gods and kings are saying that they're gods and kings, that's a vibration that's going throughout the earth, right? And then on top of that, you got the elect that are actually saying that in righteousness and understanding, the earth is moving, man. The vibe of the earth is moving, and then when the real king come back, so it's on and popping. It's finished. It just finished.
Yep. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 65.
Hey, you got brothers in the camp that got heathen, so-called looking heathen. So-called looking heathen ones, man, and they love us.
Isaiah chapter 65, verse I start 17. It says, "But behold, I create new heavens and a new earth, and the former shall not be remembered, nor come into mind." Verse 18. "But be ye glad and rejoice forever in that which I create. For behold, I created Jerusalem a rejoicing, and her people a joy." Verse 19. "And I will rejoice in Jerusalem and joy in my people, and the voice of weeping shall be no more heard in her, nor the voice of crying."
And hey, how the scripture says that when the kingdom, the Lord's gonna wipe away all tears, man. Wipe away all tears, and Jay got a lot of tears.
Yep. A lot of tears.
We got the most.
And it's angry tears, sad tears,
despair. But hey, that's why we got them. But the thing is, we got a Messiah. We got hope. A hope, man. And that's what the conclusion of this whole story is about, man. It's the rise and the fall and the rising again of Israel. And that's what Yahweh Shai came to do.
Scripture say that the Lord subjected us in hope, and we are prisoners of hope. And eventually, the Lord is going to be set free. How is a prisoner of hope going to be set free when whatever it is he's hoping for is finally here? He's no longer a prisoner to us.
Now I just had it's just two more verses. It's just two more verses real quick. Isaiah 65 and 20. I was at 19. Yeah, 20. It says, "There shall be no more thence an infant of days, nor an old man that have not filled his days. For the child shall die 100 years old, but the sinner being 100." No, not the one. This is 21. It says, "And they shall build houses and inhabit them, and they shall plant vineyards and eat the fruit of them." And the last one, verse 22. They shall not build and another inhabit. They shall not plant and another eat. For as the days of a tree are the days of my people, and my elect shall enjoy the work of their hands.
Yeah, that's the curses being reversed. Right? When you go and says Deuteronomy, said that you shall build, but another shall dwell in it.
Right. Yeah.
So everything. Also, in Jeremiah said, "What your nobles to be of yourselves too." That cuts the whole multinational kingdom of heaven. All of the nobles, all of the governors, all of the ruling bodies is going to be of Yasharallah, man.
It's like the sin, yeah.
It's going to be Israel.
And remember, it said the work of their hands, but it said in the chapter before that we're going to inherit the Gentiles. So they're going to be ones building our stuff. So it said we shall build, not build, and still inhabit.
Yeah, well, at the end of the day, it's still technically going to be our hands, right? Like how we still credit creation to Yahweh, even though it was really done physically by Yahweh and the Allahayim. And in that verse you read too, it emphasizes about how pretty much we're going to be living long ages again.
Yep.
Because it talks about the child dying 100 years old, which really what it means is if you died 100 years old, you'd be considered a child. You'd be considered like you ain't even lived yet. You'd be just a child. Going to show you today, you know, ain't no 100-year-old child. That's an old man. If somebody said, if you say how old are you, I'm 80 years old, you gonna say he's an old man. How old are you? I'm 3 years old. Oh, that's a kid, right? So, but in that time, 100 years old, you're gonna look at him like a kid, you know. But obviously, we're not gonna have age limits. But the just like in the ancient world, people lived to longer ages. You know, the Lord is gonna reverse everything back, because like the angel told Ezra, the world through age has become weaker. But once the Lord refreshes and rejuvenates it, it's gonna go back to better than its former state. Because Idan, which is a paradise, was created to be a paradise. But now under the hands of the wrong rulers, see, when we fell, Eden fell. You know, the earth itself went from being, think about it, right? It was created as a paradise for us, but when we disobeyed, it went from being a paradise to a curse. It didn't yield unto us the fruits as before, because why the hell is the Lord gonna punish you with paradise? It doesn't. So he's gonna turn this place, because what did he tell Adam? By the sweat of your brow, when you're gonna eat, you're gonna labor and labor and labor, and then you're gonna eat. Now, if the earth was just fruitful just like that, you wouldn't be laboring now, would you? So the Lord reversed it, but now that we're coming back to better than before, the Lord he's going to better this place than before, and then he's going to open up other planets for us as well.
Israel should be a world without end, you know? Because if the world was created for our sake, as it says in 2 Corinthians 6 chapter, and we're going to be out of these chains of darkness, hey, the earth itself is in a chain, of darkness, right? You know? Because of the sons of God are not in their proper state. The earth is out of course. It's like you got a house and like your mind is gone. And if you go to somebody's house that is like sick or they like mentally ill, their house is fucked up. You know, they don't got a really pristine, like nice looking house. They're just like, damn, that shit fucked up. And that's the state of Israel, man. We're in a fucked up mental state in the chains of darkness. So our actual house is all fucked up. But when Yahweh Shai comes and he changes us and gives us those new bodies, then our actual house is going to be pristine again. And that's why even the scripture tells you that, hey, the first thing we're going to set them up. We're going to have these heathens and give them continual employment, man. You got to fix our house up. They're going to be our mates. Yo, fix the crib. Yo, fix that.
Imagine the shindigs in the kingdom, man.
And the study, when the Lord put Adam in the garden, he said he put him there to keep it. And you go there, exactly. And when you go into the word there, it's also shamar, which is maintain or keep or guard, right? So when Adam wasn't there anymore to maintain it or to keep it, you had what ultimately this time Esau, Job 9:24, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. And every transition of power from one to another to another to another, the earth has been going through worse and worse hands, because the scriptures tell you that the earth is supposed to have its land sabbaths. That's a part of maintaining the earth, maintaining the planet. If it wasn't necessary, why would the creator put it in there? So when we come into power, we're going to honor these things. And not only are we going to do it, every single soul in existence on the planet is going to do it. So we're going to make sure that everything is in its proper order.
Hey, to back you up, to show you that the earth, you know, has degraded. When you go into the statue in Daniel, the top statue, Nebuchadnezzar, was gold coming down, all the way down to what? It was brass and iron. And if you check out the metals is, as far as value, it becomes cheaper and cheaper. You know, so like gold is way more expensive than iron, but iron is like more of a tougher type of metal than gold. But iron is way cheaper than gold. So that showed you then the feet was iron mixed with clay. It wasn't even full, like 100% iron. It was weakened. Right. So that showed you that from gold to iron, that morally, that each society would get like worse morally, even though like the weaponry would be like way more advanced. And that's how I look at, like, spiritually, when I look at that statue, as far as the value of the metals, it degrades as it gets lower. And society itself has degraded as technology and as time went on.
And he created the waster to destroy. Destroy him, which destroyed the earth. I always go into that word destroy. It says to morally corrupt, or morally corrupt, and morally corrupt the minds, or ethically corrupt the minds. So people's minds through Esau's rulership has literally been morally corrupted, man. To the point, that's why people think that that there's multiple genders. Like that was never a thing, right?
It's happening too.
Yeah, it's not too. There's 136, I think they said.
Oh my God.
136 different genders, man.
How you break that down?
How do you break that?
By the end of this video, they're gonna add another one on.
Right.
Another one. Had a quick precept too.
But no, so like, let me just finish that thought, and that just goes to show you the morally decayed mindset of people, man. That we're at a point where truth is looked at as being a lie, man. Right? Like it's literally like, oh, that's not like people are really thinking that there's no God. Oh no, we can make ourselves live forever through technology. This is the mindset that society has come to. They having intercourse with dolls, dolls, sex dolls. There's actually a sex that you can it's called, you can be heterosexual, homosexual. I forgot what it's called, but it's like it's not
Dolls, that's not bestiality.
No, it's not like pictosexual, but it's called something. It's actually called something sexual. Whereas people that are in love with dolls, man, and they actually have sex with dolls. But hey, and that's that do without will spirit that Esau has created, man. Going all the way back to the serpent, the knowledge of evil. This thing got a doctrine that is to pollute the whole earth. And that shit is deep. That shit, like, you would feel like that shit don't stop. Like, oh, you're right, you can't get more wicked. Nah, I can get more wicked. There's more wickedness. Watch this.
The house of the wicked.
I was gonna say the word is aga damn, I can't even say it, but it's ancient. It comes from ancient Greek. To involving sexual attraction to a statue, doll, or mannequin.
That's that Greek and Roman Empire, man. That first beast coming being revived, man. He practices all of the power of the first. A lot of these things that people are into, they don't even realize, and shit, we don't even realize it goes back to the first beast, man. Right. But when you really think about it, in times of prophecy, anything that you see as wicked, you should automatically think this had happened in Rome. Right? It's just that they changed the names, and they also changed the way of the actual thing, because obviously they didn't have like dolls back then like how they do now. But it's the same process, it's the same thing.
Because it's the same people. Yeah. Right. So you think about it, right? It's crazy how reincarnation works, right? Just like the prophets, whenever they come back in their different generations, they're gonna do some form of prophesying, just naturally, because that's in their spirit. So it's within Esau's spirit to come up with this kind of wicked shit. So if he does it in this generation, he comes back in that generation, he's gonna find a way to do something like it, because that's in his spirit. And they don't just come up with these new shits, because remember, they're dealing with deities from the past. They're not dealing with these. The demons don't change. Right. It's the same demons that go under different names during different ages, right? So what these devils do when they invoke these spirits take them back to those same ancient practices, and they just call them different names and all that. But it's the spirit of Bacchus that's here today. They just don't call him Bacchus, you know. Just like from there's a lot of transitions when you deal with the Greek gods and the Roman gods. It was just a name change, but it's still the same spirit, the same energy, you know. So it's the same thing they're doing now.
I forgot what movie it was, but there was a movie. It was like some deity, some demon, and it was like basically like some called me this. I was called this in this generation. I was called this, but now they know me. Huh?
Was it X-Men with Apocalypse?
Or could have been. Yeah, but I thought I was thinking it might have been that, but it happened in
Hancock had a story like that where she said what they called us. Some called us gods.
Yeah.
Called us this.
Yeah, but I know I believe
things like that though.
if I can recall, it was like an actual evil deity that was saying that. But that's like you were saying, like in different the demon don't change. It's just he just changes the name.
Right.
You know? Right. But it's the same type of vibration. Because how you said Bacchus, you see Bacchus happening what's today Saturday? Bacchus is gonna be out today. Like, I'm out.
And they said he was the god of wine as well. And what they do, what's the number one thing they do at these parties? They get lit. They get lit. And then the spirit takes over after that. Man, you see some of these clips, and it's like you'll see like the different color lights, it'll on off, and people have absolutely no clue what they're doing. A lot of people wake up the next morning, and what happened? What happened? You don't remember what you did because it wasn't really you. For a lot of people, like because you got some people that they once they get to that point, they lose control. They go into the sunken place. Blackout. So how are you moving without being aware or conscious of what you're actually doing? Somebody must be operating the wheel, right? And it ain't Jesus. Or maybe it is.
That's some other shit.
He's driving shotgun.
Right.
Let me take the wheel. Oh shoot.
Yeah. Hey, but that's why our law tells us what to be moderate when we drink, right?
Right.
And if you do get drunk, you better be in your crib because these spirits are out here, man. We're living in an infested, spiritually demonic infested society. They just out here waiting, flying. Who's seeing who can they just your adversary the devil goes about as a woman lion seeking, he may devour. You got Esau that's putting conjuring up demons. We think they're CERN, all these different technological things that they got, those are opening up pathways of demons coming out more and more, man.
When you say liquor in Spanish, it's espiritu. Like it's spirit. Okay. I'm learning.
When you go to the stores, they'll say wines and spirits. Wines and spirits.
Even certain drinks I drink that's like cheaper drinks, I get sick or I start I'll be like tweaking and shit. Like, and I'll be like, I'll be having to say the name. Like them cheap ass Jake drinks. Like, I can't. I've been stopped drinking them, but like going back, them little cheap ass vodkas, you get
you got the Mad Dog
and all that shit. Yo, I think the shit that they know Jake's particularly drink, I think they probably be putting prayers or whatever over that shit before they send them shits out. Just like they do with the music with the master copy, then they send all the other copies out. But yeah, man, that real cheap ass liquor, man, that shit had you like bugging, man.
Precept? Yep. Proverbs 20:1. Wine is a mocker. Strong drink is raging. And whosoever is deceived thereby is not wise.
Why? Because if you wise, you're gonna do it in the sense where you ain't gonna get to the point where you can't take advantage of it. You're not the wine ain't gonna control you. The strong drink ain't gonna be stronger than you if you use wisdom. Like the elder said, you in your crib, you good there, right? But if you out here, you drunk out your mind, you pissy drunk, and you out here fucking in the middle of the D train with your pants down, your underwear, you're doing some stupid shit. Oh, that reminds me of an episode from the Boondocks. I don't know if y'all watch it. You have the old man, granddad, and he started getting high. So this dude, he got so high, the cops pulled up, and all you see is he's completely naked. He got two big ass Indian drums and a headband on with two whatever they blunt in his mouth, playing this shit. And it was like a freaking he was supposed to be babysitting his neighbor's daughter, who was like an underage little girl, and she's out here traumatized and shit. And this guy had no clue what's going on because he was gone. He didn't use wisdom, and that's why like the scriptures tell us because the Lord created all these things for our use. But everything, just like shampoo bottles got directions, everything has an instruction on how to use it, right? When you want a certain mixture of something, they'll say, oh, take 3/4 of this, drink it with 8 ounces of water. Because the creators knew this is the potency per this. So do it this way. That's the same thing with the Lord. He said,
Use
look,
the
I made
word, but
this.
don't abuse it.
There you go. Because if you abuse it, you're going to get taken advantage of. And you're going to be abused in jail. If, you know,
I think that's in Sirach where it says all
I got it right here.
no.
Oh, I don't know if you're talking about this, but this on drinking. This Sirach 31, 25. Show not thy valiantness in wine, for wine have destroyed many. For the furnace proveth the edge by dipping, so do wine the hearts of the proud by drunkenness. So you could always like one thing about they say a drunk tongue, a drunk mind speaks to a sober tongue, something like that.
Sober thoughts, drunk
Basically,
words,
you get
sober thoughts.
yeah. So basically, you get someone drunk because it's a saying. Money don't change you; it just magnifies who you are. And drinking don't change you; it just magnifies who you are. And it's another way of saying like you want to see who someone truly is, just give them power. So when you drink, it brings out your true, whoever you are, whoever the Lord made you to be, things you like, things you don't like, you might could like hide that to a degree sober. But whatever your personality is and how you get down is going to magnify it. But then what spirits could jump on you and have you tweaking out on other things. That's why I'm going to finish reading. It says, for furnace proveth the edge by dipping, so do wine the hearts of the proud by drunkenness. Verse 27. Wine is as good as life to a man if it be drunk moderately. What life is to a man that is without wine, for it was made to make men glad. Verse 28. Wine measurably drunk and in season bring gladness of the heart and cheerfulness of the mind. But wine drunken with excess make bitterness of the mind with brawling and quarreling. You start fighting and shit.
Hey, that's why even when Paul, when he was talking to the Israelites, the Gentiles that got converted to Israelites, he had to tell them like, yo, don't be drinking too much. You know, like be moderate in your drinking. Your teach your aged women not to be drunken in excess, because during the Greek and Roman Empire, that was a heavy thing. Yep. And what do you see happening in society now? Drinking, being drunk is embedded in the society, man. Yep. Like happy to the point, happy hours, like to the point where a person don't drink, you like, what's wrong with you? Yeah, why don't you drink? You good? Like oh, it's a health issue? Like, nah, I just don't drink. Like you look that weird if you don't drink. But that's how you know, like what I was saying before, that this is the same piece coming back, because this society has made that a part, like a very integral part of the society. And it's not just drinking moderately, it's drinking with being drunken with excess, man. And that goes back to what we saw about before, the deity Bacchus.
The other side of the coin, 29. But wine drunken with excess make bitterness of the mind with brawling and quarreling. Drunkenness increaseth the rage of a fool till he offends. It diminishes strength and maketh wounds. Rebuke not thy neighbor at the wine, and despise not him in his mirth. And that's another thing, because wine and liquor the Lord put here for us to enjoy. But you got people, look at him over there, like you got your older aunts or whatever, look at him over there drinking. Like, yeah, I'm feeling nice. Like, I'm enjoying myself. But some people despise you for drinking, or they look at it as like a negative thing. But it's actually something that the Lord okayed. But so it says the last verse, rebuke not thy neighbor at the wine. So if your neighbor want to drink, give them, because sometimes it's good to have liquor around or just some shit in the house. A brother could come over stressed the hell out or be going through catching a lot of hell. And what you do is you give them something to drink, because it actually calms you down. That's why I said give strong drink to him that's ready to perish. It was times I was going through things or had a lot on my mind. Soon as you take the first sip of it, you can actually feel yourself literally calm down. Like you could actually like it ain't even go down the tube all the way yet. You can actually feel yourself steam off. That's why people like, yo, let's have a drink. Or it's good, you know, liquor stores and shit be closed. We up in Jersey at a certain time. So it's good to keep something around the house because it's really like a stress reliever. Yeah.
Take the edge off.
Take the edge off. Yeah, God. Last verse. Rebuke not thy neighbor at the wine, and despise him not in his mirth. Give him no despiteful words, and press not upon him, urging him to drink. Because some brothers don't drink. Like Solomon, he not a drinker. But sometimes we all having fun, and you want your brother to drink with you. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, come on, man, have a drink with me. It's my birthday. We don't, well, you know how people in the world do. Like, it's celebration, man. Just one drink, man. But if you press on him, urging him to drink, and he take that drink and turn into a demon or do some wild shit, because everybody got different tolerance levels. That blood, the Lord could apply his blood on your hands. So it says, rebuke not thy neighbor at the wine, and despise him not in his mirth. Give him no despiteful words, and do not press upon him, urging him to drink.
The script I was thinking about where it says that flour, water, wine, all these things are created. They're good to the godly, but they're be turned basically wicked, you know, to the sinner, man. So you could be somebody that uses somebody that is godly, following the ways of Yahweh Shem Shai, and the things, the operations, or these uses, these commodities that the Lord gave us are to be used for your benefit. But on the reverse, got it? I think it's you got it? Yeah. Okay.
This is Sirach 39:26. The principal things for the whole use of man's life are water, fire, iron, salt, flour of wheat, honey, milk, and the blood of the grapes.
And I remember me and the brothers talking about it before, that all that also can be applied to the word, to the scriptures, you know, because all those things, when you read, the Lord say we're the salt of the earth, you know, the wine being the wisdom, philosophies, understanding. What else was there? Water, all right, rivers of living water. But we actually go to the actual operations of those things in the world. The Lord said He created all those things for man to use, you know. But being underneath this devil, once again, all of those things were defiled. All those things. The water is not clean. The wine is impure. They got arsenic in wine bottles. The flour is not even pure good flour. You look on the back of a flour bag, it got sodium carbonate, all these different big ass words. Like, what the fuck is that? Yeah, bleach flour.
That's that box wine, right?
The box wine and not even the cork wine, the twist off wine.
Yeah.
That's bad wine to drink.
You put me on that. I used to bring them the holy days faithfully, like.
So that Carlos Rossi is
I'm like, yo, this a new brother's good. The elder was like, nah, man. I was like, oh, all right, can't stop buying it. Because you know that box wine, you get a whole, like,
you see how liters. Devilish Esau is, he make that shit cheap.
Right.
But the good wine and shit like $400. You know Jay can't afford that shit. That good wine probably actually got some benefits for your body. But Jay, let me get that Sutter home. Like, you know that vineyard, they don't got him Sutter home anymore. That shit old. Yellowtail. That shit not good, man. But that's what Jay can afford. That's why we need the kingdom, man. Hey, but Yahweh Shai said, I should not drink of the fruit of this wine until I drink it again with you new in the kingdom. Woo. If it was wicked, why would he say that?
Let me finish this up. Milk, the blood of the grapes, and oil and clothing. All these are for good to the godly, so to the sinner they are turned into evil.
They turn into evil, man. And hey, the clothes, he saw them turn that, mixed fabrics. Oh, yeah. You know, I seen a couple last year, brother did a video on like polyester and how like it actually like destroys your body. I'm like, damn. almost every piece of clothing that you wear got polyester in it. That polyester not even a real fabric. That shit,
Especially t-shirts.
that shit's syndicate. It's a synthetic, and they can get inside your actual pores, especially even once you come out of the shower. It get inside your pores, and that synthetic fibers get into your shit, and that's what can cause cancer and all that, man.
Damn.
So even just the clothes that we were wearing, you thinking that you just getting, let me get a regular Hanes shirt. That shit actually destroying your body. I'm like, yo, this devil gotta fucking go, man. And you try to find some 100% cotton, 100% this shit like $50 for a t-shirt. Let me get 100% wool tee in, it's $100. Yeah, let me get the regular 50%, 25 spandex. That shit is all in your body, man.
I think this is probably.
That shit.
Then you can't trust this devil, even if he tell you it's 100. They selling Arizona fucking iced teas, telling you, and they say 100% juice. Yeah. So you can't check like damn, like you know damn well no Arizona ain't no 100% juice, but that should have said on the can.
Inflation done happened everywhere 10 times over, but Arizona is still 99 cents.
They got hit. They got hit.
What if it say $100.09 now?
Yeah, some shit. They got hit though.
Nah, certain spots are still $1, but they running $1.25.
Yeah.
They up it to $1.25.
Like regular spot grocery store might still be that $1, but like you go to like a gas station or like a from the stores that like it's not their thing. It'd be like a little over $1 sometimes.
Man, that's why this place is really is death and hell, man. To the point where everything, like literally everything that a part of life is actually being turned against us, man. Because underneath this devil and his rulership. Did you have a precept?
Yeah. Going into the wine. 1 Timothy 5:23. Drink no longer water, but use a little wine for thy stomach's sake and thine often infirmities. Yes, so wine has that medicinal usage in moderation. And we just read in Proverbs 20:1 that it says, he that is deceived thereby is not wise. So that means there's a way to use it and not be deceived, which is to apply moderation, like the elder read from Sirach.
Hey, before they had like Novocaine in anesthetics, when they was like in wartime, when you had like to get amputated, they'll tell you to drink this. Yeah, just take a shot or down a bottle of some liquor because it'll numb you, you know. So it'll have that effect to where it can be like a Novocaine or anesthesia. But go back to Wisdom of Solomon's second chapter. We'll close it up with that.
It extracts medicine too, like real hard corn liquor. You can put herbs in it, and that's how you make your different tinctures and whatever, and it'll extract the properties up out of the herbs.
Yeah, when you look on the back of like your golden seal echinacea or like they have like some say there's no alcohol, but some say that they have real alcohol. Yeah. Going back to what the elder said.
Yeah, everything's been cheapened in this world, you know. Like quick point, and then we can get to this. He had this new type of Coca-Cola called Coca-Cola Light, and it supposedly had like stevia, like the natural sweetener.
Right.
And I'm like, okay, if that's Coca-Cola Life, what's the rest of the shit y'all been doing?
And that's stevia. That's the artificial. That's the fake sugar, right? That shit ain't either. That's like an equal.
Yeah.
Spartum. They got Diet Coke.
I just came across my deodorant I use, Men's Dove deodorant, and obviously they put aluminum in the deodorant, but they just started making an aluminum-free deodorant for Men's Dove, and I'm like, so like when you use aluminum, that's when it gets like the cake and
that's
the aluminum shit. So this one when I use it, that shit's nothing's there. It's just clear, but it's not gel. It's just a regular deodorant, but it's no aluminum in there. So I'm thinking, I'm like, yo, this whole fucking time these devils could have made aluminum-free deodorant, but they just didn't do that shit because you read research putting that deodorant on you actually causes cancerous cells as well with aluminum in it. So when you go to like the health food stores and you try to get the natural deodorant, that shit don't be staying like how. I'm like, yo, but when I went to Tulum, quick story, I was in I went down to the cenotes with like the underground cave waters, but we had to get there, and they got actual flowers, not flowers, trees that were used. The guy was telling the tour guy, he was saying that this tree, he took the leaf off, and you can smell. It smells like straight lemon. It's not a lemon tree. It smells like straight lemon. He was like, yeah, you smell it. He's like, you can use this. The old mines are Aztecans used to use this to basically as perfume or like deodorant from the tree. So they'll take the leaf and put it on there, and they'll say it'll stay for hours, like on your body. And you stink. I'm like, yo,
Oh yeah.
yeah, just like that.
My father does use olive oil as well to deal with
Yeah.
olive oil.
But going back to it, so we go back to like the earth itself has these things in it that we just, because we don't fail, we don't have that knowledge. And this devil, he monopolized everything. It made a profit off of fucking life itself, man. Just the natural uses of life. Like, nah, we're gonna actually charge you for that.
Right.
We're gonna charge you for water. We're gonna charge you for hygiene. Charge you for everything, man.
Everything's a chunk.
Subject to payments.
Same thing with plastic. Because they could have made hemp plastic. They could have made buildings with hemp concrete. Even the Constitution was written on hemp paper. But then he turned around and give you plastic because it's more profitable. So that's why this devil has to be put out. You know, and that's why Isaiah 14 says that the whole creation will rejoice. You know, everything, all of life will break out into singing and rejoicing when this devil is put down.
But then he's gonna come back now and say we're gonna try to get rid of plastic. After you done destroyed the earth. Oh no, you know what? We need to stop.
No,
We
no more.
need to ban plastic.
Earth Day.
Yeah, get on Earth Day.
They need to destroy the earth.
One day. This the yep.
Wisdom of Solomon 2:10. Let us oppress the poor righteous man. Let us not spare the widow, nor reverence the ancient gray hairs of the age. Let our strength be the law of justice.
And that used to be something that was honorable, man. An old man that you actually, in tribes, you actually take care of your elders. But here it is over there in France. That's part of the reason why they rioted in France, because they upped the age of retirement over there. 2 years. And they but they didn't give them no extra benefits, and they said, y'all just gotta work longer.
Yep.
But what they was doing to the Israelites, us in slavery, we had to literally work till you die. You had Jake that would die in the plantation field, man. They throw water on him, see if he's alive. Like, nah, they tell some other Israelite, yo, go bury them and get back to work, nigga.
That's what we're gonna do to them.
Let our strength be the law of justice. For that which is feeble is found to be nothing worth. Hey, the old man is feeble. They will consider, honoring him. He's just useless now. He's old. That's how the society is.
Yeah, a lot of people that are homeless is because they're crippled. You got a lot of veterans that are homeless, and they're homeless because they can't literally work because of their. And that's what we told you about that. That was one of the things that within Sarat. One of the things I was like vexing seeing men of war that suffer poverty. Yeah, it's men of war that suffer poverty, man. Well, a lot of homeless people in America were people of men of war. Yeah. I mean, you call them bums now. Yeah, they be in the train station. They done gave their fucking right arm and leg. Look at this bum.
And it says, let our strength be the law of justice. Basically, might is right. That's like manifest destiny. So they have the power. So what they say goes. But ultimately the Lord gave them that, but that's not going to be forever. That's temporary, and they're going to be judged for it. Wisdom of Solomon 2:12. Therefore let us lie in wait for the righteous, because he is not for our turn, and he is clean contrary to our doings. He upbraideth us with our offending the law.
Man, that's us. That's when we come out here, man. Shaking the hand at the gates of the snow. Howard Shice, and then he begins to upbraid the cities for their wickedness. But that's the visual that Esau sees when the prophets come out here, man. Because they're what? Contrary to the laws of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. Go ahead.
He upbraideth us with our offending the law, and objective to our infamy, the transgressings of our education. He professeth to have the knowledge of the Most High, and he calleth himself the child of the Lord. He was made to reprove our thoughts. He is grievous unto us, even to behold.
Yeah, starting with Yahweh Shai. Right, but we are coming in the spirit of, in the power of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, and we're suffering. Yahweh Shai said, hey, he had a drink of that cup. We got to drink of that cup, right? But we drink of that cup so that we can what? Be glorified with him when he returns.
Right.
Go ahead.
For his life is not like other men's, His ways are of another fashion.
Who else doing what we doing out here? You know, who else prophesying the downfall of Babylon? Who else is hazarding their life standing out on the highways and byways? Our ways ain't like everybody else, man. You know, who's keeping the law, statutes, commandments to the best of their ability? Who's doing the things that are, who got their mind thinking about Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, man, the creator. These people don't do that, man. But
We are esteemed of him as counterfeits.
yep, the 48ers. You say on general, just being rulers. Y'all ain't real rulers, y'all counterfeit rulers.
He abstaineth from our ways as from filthiness. He pronounceth the end of the just to be blessed, and maketh his boast that God is his father.
Joshua Robert. That's our boast. And that's what they hate. Esau love you when you don't know you're Israelite. He'll love you. Oh, they'll cheer you on, congratulate. As soon as you say you're Israelite, look at it. I mean, you know, Kanye, but look, that's an example. You know, it's a low level, but that's an example. You can't call yourself, going back to the law that Antioch put out. Okay, it's a law to profess yourself to be a Jew.
Another quick point. When Yahushua was dealing with the wicked scribes and Pharisees, they were offended that he called himself the Son of God, but he said, is it not written in your law, ye are gods? Why are you so offended at me? This is written. We're the Israelites. We're the sons of God. What's the problem? You know, the problem is he's saying I'm the son, you know, the son. And that's why they was offended. Wisdom of Solomon 2.
That's just a wicked ass Jake. Because they knew the prophecy of the Messiah. Right? Yeah. It's like,
Oh
you were waiting for Messiah, but he said the Messiah say I'm here. I'm like, nah, you ain't the Messiah.
After they liked it.
Nah, you don't look like our Messiah.
You can't be it.
How
You
you know
can't
what
be
the
it.
Messiah look like? Not my Jesus. Yeah, you're not my Jesus.
Not my Lord and Savior.
My Lord and Savior wouldn't do that. And that's the same shit they say today.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
the same thing, man.
I ain't no prophet.
Oh, what? Isn't that this?
It says, I'll read it 16 again. We are esteemed of him as counterfeits. He abstaineth from our ways as from filthiness. He pronounceth the end of the just to be blessed, and maketh his boast that the Most High is his Father. Let us see if his words be true, and let us prove what shall happen in the end of him. For if the just man be the Son of God, he will help him and deliver him from the hand of his enemies.
Hey, they said that to Yahweh Shah, man. You know? They actually said that to Yahweh Shah. If you the Son of God, hey, he called it. Let him come and and redeem you. Let him come and save you. Then he can save other men. Yep. Prophesy to us who's laughing.
Let us examine him with despitefulness and torture, that we may know his meekness and prove his patience.
Yep. Hey, the patience of the saints. The Lord said it in the patience that you saw. So the fact that we got to keep coming out, we got to keep enduring, that is, hey, the Lord is proving our patience. And this devil, he's also using Esau to prove our patience too. Right? With the different ways that he tries to, you know, demonize us and come up against us, that's us. We got to be patient in that. We got to be patient in the fact that we're going to be ridiculed and laughed at and mocked. But that patience, as James said, that worketh, you know, until, you know, you being perfected. Right?
Quick point if I may. Paul also mentioned that, you know, being disrespected, basically us being the offspring of the earth, yet we're the ones that got to entreat. People shit on you and disrespect you, but you got to be the one to like try to put out the peace, you know, the white flags, the olive branch, so to speak.
Yep.
Wisdom of Solomon 2 and 20. Let us condemn him with a shameful death, for by his own saying he shall be respected. Such things they did imagine and were deceived. Their own wickedness hath blinded them. As for the mysteries of God, they knew them not, neither hope they for the wages of righteousness.
Yep. They don't have the mysteries of the kingdom, man, because it wasn't given unto them to know it. It was given unto what? The ones that were predestined from the foundation, the elect. So all the stuff that we go through, it all works for our good. You know, it's all for our benefit. And when you got that mindset, it makes it easier to be able to endure it.
Right.
When you understand that we gotta the end, as it says, that the end of the righteous is blessed. When you really believe that, it don't really matter what you go through. And that's why a lot of men, and they fall out. It's really ultimately when you fall out, the truth starts with you not believing. But you can't fall out of something if you believe it.
Right.
If you believe that you can achieve something, then you're gonna actually work to achieve it. But if once you stop actually believing in something, then you start to be lackadaisical. You start to, where it says start to our Lord delayeth our coming. Yeah, start to beat the man. Then you get you get upset that everybody else is still believing and you don't believe him anymore. And that really goes back to the spirit of Cain, because his ways was wicked and Abel's was righteous.
Also, scripture. Oh yeah, let thou not be single. You know, a lot of guys they lose the passion because their eye is not single and focus on the heavenly prize, and had gone into the earth focus. It's connected to fire, which like the light is fire. Wisdom of Solomon 2:22. As for the mysteries of God, they knew them not, neither hope they for the wages of righteousness, nor discern a reward for blameless souls. For the Most High created man to be immortal, and made him to be an image of his own eternity. Nevertheless, through envy of the devil came death into the world.
Hey, that's why we are called Yasharal, sons of God, so that we can be actually images of the Lord's eternity. So there's a nation on this earth that ain't supposed to die, because somebody gotta fulfill the image of the Lord's eternity, man. Somebody has to fulfill that. And that's why there's only one nation that is called the sons of God. And that's why us calling ourselves that, surnaming us, that's why that's such a big controversy on the earth. See, these elites, I mean, they're not elites, well, they actually are elites. These 48ers, they're calling themselves the sons of God, but they don't fit the description. And ultimately, they're trying to fulfill being a God through technology. That's not how you become a son of God. It's inheritance. You got to inherit that. You didn't inherit the sons of God. You inherited wasted away as heat. And everything you do is just wasting away.
Thank you.
Another thing I just thought of, it says envy of the devil came death into the world. So that connects the devil to the serpent in the beginning. So when Esau Edom is connected to that.
Yeah, and it said death into the world of who? Israel.
Right.
Because Israel, Adam and Eve, they didn't have death in their world until Esau, the spirit of Esau, the serpent, he was envious of the fact that these sons of God were immortal, man. And that same envy is still being seen today. That's once again why they're coming out with this techno immortality thing, because they want something that no other nation on this earth can get, except the Israelites. Everybody wants to live forever, but only one nation was given that inheritance. That was their portion, was to be eternal, to be they came out that Marvel movie, The Eternals. That only belongs to the Israelites, man.
And they that do hold of his side do find it.
Yep. You hold it to the side of the devil, and you're gonna find what the devil has, which is what? Death. So yeah, we'll close it out unless the brother had anything to say.
Pick on. Oh, okay.
Okay. So yeah, we're gonna close it out there. Lord willing, this was edifying to the elect, giving all praises to Yahweh.
Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Shem, Rakakadash.
The next time, Shalom.
Shalom.
Well,